gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and a new release. don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm frozen, I can tear down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down. Cut the fix up with some Xbox babies, put the switch up. See me gearing up for war, don't get it mixed up. I come in peace, kid. I'm bringing commentary and the new releases. I put them hours in to get prepared now. We play on expert level, don't be scared now. I'ma destroy you when I'm frozen, I can tear down. If you ain't tuned into the channel, keep your head down.
Yo, thank you guys for joining us on The Fix tonight. We have my buddy and our community great and content creator, Rhetri, joining us as co-host tonight. Rhetri, what have you been up to, brother? And thank you for joining me on this. It was kind of last second. I got you within, again, about 2 hours, I guess, before showtime to get you to jump in. And,
yes, you did.
Yeah, you so graciously
for
jumped
some reason,
in.
yeah. I'm always thinking your podcast is at 9:00. I don't know why, but it's probably why I was almost late the last time I was on the show. But for me, I've been gaming a lot, man. I just finished Jusant, which I thought was pretty cool.
I played a bit of that earlier.
Yeah, I think it's one of those, it's kind of one of those things where it's like a palate cleanser game, I call them. Like, I really like those indies going into Game Pass, because when I'm playing all these crazy shooters, which I do a lot of, sometimes it's nice to just complete something. That's why I love these short, like 4 to 6 hour indie games, because I feel like I actually did something and I finish them, so it's kind of nice. Been playing the COD campaign. I finished that because I wanted to know what all the fuss was about. It is not nearly as bad as everyone's saying it is, in my opinion. Alan Wake 2, been playing that. Just started Like a Dragon Ishin, because the other Like a Dragons just came out, so I'm way behind on that stuff. Been playing. Finished Dead Space, and I've been playing Halo because I just absolutely love this new season.
Yes,
it has completely brought me back.
Yeah, same. Listen, yeah. I have some gameplay of the new season right here, right, with the firefight. This night right here, this footage I have here was from last week. It was myself and Pete on this map here. Later, it was myself, Pete, Colt, that blue number, Holly, I think Gray Monad might have been in there. We had like 13 or 14 of us, something like that, in this thing, all running around, killing off the Covenant. This was nothing but pure fun. I kid you. All we did was, it was my boy Red Wolf Renegade, and we're singing, laughing, and just, the old saying of being just joyous. This was what this was.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what this was.
I'll
man.
tell you,
it felt like a
this
throwback.
Game in a group
yeah.
is like, it's like, people are like, I don't know if I like Halo them. I'm like, you need to play.
You do.
Join us on community game nights, guys. Like I play with you guys, you and Pete and a bunch of other people too, Red Den Panda and all that group, and it's just so much more fun with like a group of people. Never mind, you can do like your own private games and stuff like that, and just have a blast, man.
Agreed.
I love this game.
Agreed. And if you guys are like have doubts, and because it's hard to come back, like that's the thing I felt like with Redfall, like like good, they did these things which surprised the hell out of all of us, like they did it so soon. But is it too late? You know what I mean? Like some people, sometimes you don't get a second chance, and so I think some people are kind of feeling that way with Halo. Like, should I come back? You should, because it's worth it. It really is. But moving on to our special guest for the night, we got with us my brother Ham Solo. Ham, what have you been up to, brother? And I know you had a great show tonight, which I have to watch later on tonight, with our brother Jazz Corden that was on there. So how did that go, and what have you been up to? Ham.
He fell asleep. Ham, are you there?
Hard.
He's still trying to fix his headset.
Oh no, my bad.
There he
my
is.
bad.
He's back. He's back.
I muted myself to speak. That was great. But anyways, no. I was saying I've been doing a lot, and if you can't tell by the way I started the conversation just now, yeah, I think Dad is ready for a nap. but man, I've been doing a lot lately, and I tell you what, I've been having a blast, and that's probably why I'm so tired, because I'm just like, let's go, let's do the next thing, and I'm like, oh, Umbra, I got an early show.
Yeah.
I'm available. I can hop on if you want me to.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, get on over here.
Get on over here.
So yeah, I'm happy to finally make it on the show with you, brother. It's good to be here for sure. But as of what I've been playing lately, man, Starfield still has me in a headlock right now. I'm still trying to get out of that rear naked choke, man. It is tough. But the game is just so good. It's a lot of fun. There's still so much I want to do, and right now I'm working my way up to a level 100.
Nice.
I've been playing more Halo with the wife and with some friends, sometimes with you busters. It's pretty fun doing that. I recently played some Among Us with you guys.
You
I
did.
thought that was extra interesting.
Where you were, because you told us, and I quote, "You ain't no snitch," and you you were very uncooperative. You made my investigations very tough at the end of the day.
Yes, I did. I come in with that extra little bit of spice that no one likes. It's great.
It was fun killing you, by the way, because you made it easier.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. I murdered all of y'all. The only person that caught me was Teasy at the last second, and it was so funny.
I was so ready. I was absolutely ready to become the imposter and just cut the first person I see right at the beginning of that. I wanted to do that so bad, but I never got to become imposter. But anyways, that's pretty much the gist of what I've been playing. I played a little bit of Jasant. That game is really nice. Played a little bit of the Call of Duty campaign. I could see why people are disappointed with it, but as a person that played Black Ops and would just turn on the AI bots and run around and run around and just do kill streaks all the time, I can see myself having a little bit of fun with it. But as for the kind of hand holding that it usually does with you in the story, and follow these people and remain with this group and go on and then use this big weapon and then become a sniper for 1 or 2 levels or whatnot, and then jump in the AC-130 or something, like it is a lot different of a pace, and I could see why people would be a little like, yo, this feels like Warzone. This feels like just regular Call of Duty multiplayer, except I'm going versus AI bot.
Speaking of that, by the way, didn't they, because today earlier, I know my brother Jedi Knight Peter and I think Holly, they were both getting on the zombies mode that they released. They released today, right?
Yeah, it's tonight at midnight.
Yeah, I think it all's supposed to release tonight.
Oh, unless they traveled to New Zealand.
Oh, they did.
And change your Blizzard ID to New Zealand time. I guess you got to do both.
You got to
Apparently,
do both.
Wow. That's, I know, which is weird. I've never had to do that before. That's what I heard.
Yeah,
I haven't
that's a
done
little
that
extra
yet,
right there. Yeah.
I usually just do the New Zealand thing, and I'm good to go. But that's the rumor.
Okay,
I just wait 3 hours.
Yeah,
or whatever it is.
I figure I'll wait. I've never played. If you can believe it or not, I've never played any zombie mode on any console. Never played it.
Oh man, that's one of my. I love zombies so much.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be good. This open world thing. I hope it's good.
Because I hate zombies.
You hate it?
Really? I love it. I like the old school zombies. This new stuff, it got too complicated for me a little bit too much. So I kind of like the Black Ops versions of zombies.
Yeah,
but we'll see. I'm gonna try it out.
For me, I never was big into Call of Duty's like multiplayer. Like I only did the campaign, and that was really it for me. So like I kind of stick to that. But I was gifted this so graciously by my my beautiful co-panelist, that Blue Number, Modern Warfare 3. So I feel like I'm obligated to make sure I put in some time. Gotta reward that gift.
You're talking about Danny.
Yeah, oh, no, Vinny. But yeah, she gifted me with that, so I know I do want to put some time in on that and really play on it. And I was actually invited right when we were getting close to starting to jump in with him and with Jedi Knight Peter and her. So, but yeah, I'll get into that more on the weekend. But other than that, the Juice Hunt you guys mentioned, I actually played a bit of that earlier, and I got some footage of that. It's kind of cool. It's a laid back kind of game. I like the art direction and such. Right, it's pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a long game?
Good music too. No, it's like 4 to 5 hours tops.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I figure I'll finish. I have it on my ROG Ally too, so I didn't really get a lot of time in on it, but I figured maybe I can finish that off on that. Why not?
Yeah, it's good. It's got a good little story too, kind of like no words, nothing like that, but it's one of those little indies that's got kind of cool story to it.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I liked it.
Also, it actually has a point. It's not just you climbing stuff. Okay.
Nope.
Okay, cool. And last but not least, we have Sergeant Sentinel Gaming. We're gonna call him Sarge and Sentinel, so you all will hear that interchangeably. Sarge, what's up with you, brother? Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. I appreciate it. It's an honor.
Oh man, it's an honor to have you. You've had me on your podcast with you and the fellas from overseas. Tell the folks about your.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I was there with you.
Oh yeah, you were there for one of them. That's right. I forgot about that.
Reunion.
Yeah.
It's a celebration.
A celebration. Charlie Murphy.
That was the one we had like 10 guys on that podcast, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah, it was a good amount of us. I forgot how many, but it was a bunch of us. But tell the folks about your podcast and what you've been up to over the weekend.
Well, our podcast now, XPN Network, it's on the weekends, it's on Saturdays. I believe it's right after Pong Souls podcast. And it, we before we had the PlayStation podcast and we had Xbox, but now they kind of cover everything in one podcast. It's PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. They cover some wrestling stuff. So I believe it's 2 p.m. Central Time. So if you want to catch that on Saturdays, obviously you can do it. As far as what I've been playing a lot of RoboCop Rogue City, to be honest. And I know it's not like it's not a AAA experience, but it is an amazing game, and the amount of respect that the developers have for the IP, it makes it even more fun to play, because it's not like one of those games that they say is made for modern audiences. This is straight respect in the source material from the late 80s and early 90s. And with a game like RoboCop, that's exactly what you need.
Perfect. Did he have the one-liners and all that, and he was spitting throughout the game?
Yes.
He was like, "Come with me if you want to." What was some of the things? Dead or alive.
Dead or alive, you're coming.
That's it. Yep. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
Yeah. They stick to it, and it's straight. It's great because of it.
And they had the other one too.
What's the price on that game? Is that like a cheaper game? Game, or is it full price?
It's $60. Some people are like, well, it's AA, and they're kind of hesitant because it's not AAA. But I've played a lot of AAA games that are absolutely not worth $50.
Yeah.
But this game, like I said, it's fun. I'm on my 3rd playthrough right now, so it's definitely worth the asking price, especially if you like RoboCop. You're gonna love this.
Same team, in fact, did a game with Terminator.
Oh, that's the same. Oh, those are the same guys. I didn't realize it was the same team.
Yeah.
That Terminator game is it's pretty good, dude.
So the Terminator, the team that did Terminator, also did a RoboCop game. So I'm thinking maybe RoboCop versus Terminator could happen.
Yo.
Yeah.
I've heard positives about both. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can see playing this that they care about RoboCop and Terminator franchises, and you don't want a studio that doesn't care about them to pick them up and make horrible versions of them. You want people that respect the source material, and that's exactly what they do. So it's great.
That's beautiful. Yeah, like with the Terminator one, I saw, like, when I saw that, in my mind, I was like, that's going to be trash. But I've steadily heard nothing but positives about that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really interesting.
Well, the only negative I will say, you can tell the lip syncing is a little off. It's probably because they're trying to get used to it. It is better in RoboCop.
Yeah.
But it's not like top tier. But again, that's like the biggest negative I can come up with. Everything else is pretty solid.
Okay. That's dope. Yeah, no, I know like my brother Charlie Hustle on Twitter, he has been going crazy for RoboCop. I know K Asante is loving it. He called it the GOAT in the chat. I see you, K. Yeah, like I've heard nothing but praise. I've seen the gameplay. It's actually crazy how gory it is from the blood and stuff I've seen splattered all over the place. That was pretty funny seeing like him shoot somebody and nothing but like tomato paste was left on the wall. I'm like, sheesh, how much
you can take
you
off
shoot the dude?
Arms and legs. Yep.
Also, they let you just like you don't just shoot people up. You actually can tear them limb from limb, like when you shoot them.
Yes. And I tell you, it makes me so damn bloodthirsty. I ain't gonna lie, bro. But I mean, but I'll tell you, I'm one of those kind of gamers where it's like my plate, I got about 2/3 of it ate, and I don't want to get back up and put anything back on it until I clear off what I got.
Yeah.
And I got a couple of games recently that are pretty dope, but man, I'm looking at RoboCop and I mean, it's like that, you know, that one that walks in the bar and you're just like, yo, did I make the right decision?
Right. Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to spoil this for you guys, but I will tell you one of the best parts in RoboCop is where you come across a Cobra assault cannon, the explosive cannon he uses, and you can take out Ed 209 with that shit.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta get into that, man. I you know, much like Rhetri was saying, I thought it would have been like a discounted price, like maybe $40 or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if it was one of those.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It has a decent amount of content for its price, and like I said, as a RoboCop game, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, definitely.
That's only single player, right? Is there a multiplayer aspect of that game, or?
No, I don't think they've talked about it yet. They might in the future add something, but I think right now they're just focused on single player content, which is cool.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for it, man. Yeah, so as far as I do want to make this special kind of, I don't want to say announcement, but something I want to shed a light on. And I noticed like there's a lot of virtual signaling going on with this. I'm going to keep it kind of brief as I can, at least. The whole Spider-Man 2 debacle where a lot of people have been.
Which one?
I know, right? From the Mary Jane situation to Miles Spider-Man, and if you don't like it, you're white cisgender and all that stuff. Like I've seen so many weird takes. It's now it's kind of odd being on the other side of things where you kind of see that aimed at you, and it's like, okay. So we came to, we got the news of Spider-Man 2. Miles is going to be the lead Spider-Man going forward. They're going to diminish Pete's role and kind of sunset him a little bit. I'm sure he'll still have a piece of something in the franchise, but they're kind of moving the story forward to have Miles take on the main mantle while Pete is, doing his thing with the foundation him and Harry had, as well as, being a family man with MJ, right? And so my thing on it was, I saw this coming, and on a previous show, I had spoke on it and said I felt that, and I understand why people felt this way, but when I was explaining and they still refused to see what I meant, that's when I knew that it doesn't matter what you say. People just hear what they want to hear. So I said that I thought that they, I love the game. I gave it a 9 out of 10. Although now, upon beating it a second time and really ingesting it like everything in, I lowered it to an 8.5. That's not a bad score. Clearly, it's a great score. But the side missions are terrible. The side, I don't want to say side missions. The side, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Quests.
Not so much quests. What they call activities and things like that. They're repetitive as hell. They're pretty boring. They don't lead to much anything outside of the Mysterio one, at least.
Mysterio one was dope.
That one was pretty good. That's the only one that really leads to anything. All the other ones don't really lead to anything.
still wasn't that innovative.
It wasn't.
Like if you're going like innovative route, then the Mysterio thing was very much like the hollow things that you fight in the previous ones.
Exactly. And also those MJ missions. I'm sorry. I tried to tolerate it.
I heard they were yeah.
There is much better compared to past games. Don't get me wrong, but it's still annoying. Like I didn't sign up to play as MJ. I'm sorry to say this.
No.
I know people like, well, what's wrong with playing with MJ? It's women empowerment.
All kinds of things.
Like
what a stupid idea.
Like I don't.
Where do you start?
Yeah,
Why
because they kind of run with
that. Was a good idea.
And listen, my thing is, even if they would have had it at a point where you just kind of sneak with her at one mission or something, I could have tolerated that.
Yeah, like one little thing.
Yeah, but they had it where she was basically John Wicking it up, and I'm not joking when I was taking these symbiotes out.
Some of the footage.
Yeah,
it's really funny.
That motorcycle moment, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!"
Yeah,
Mary Jane Wick.
Everyone's a superhero now.
She really turned into what's his name, Tom Cruise.
She did, man.
And
almost started singing Danger Zone. Yeah,
I don't understand. I don't know who's saving who.
And I got love for, like, listen, I'm a long time comic fan, right? So I say this with love, and shout out to DC. DC was there for this show. And I got, I brought him on specifically to get, our PlayStation guy's side of things. Him, and it was Bad Bit, Mr. Bad Bit, who gave a really, really great breakdown and how much it meant to him being a Puerto Rican and such with Miles and stuff. So shout out to Bad Bit as well. And, my thing was the game is great. Like, I don't want to take anything away from it. I think it possibly deserves a Game of the Year contender. So trust me when I say this, it's not me trying to be negative to the game. But there are some things in that game that I absolutely disliked. The Mary Jane thing was one of them because I thought it's like you have Black Cat right there. Why not use Black Cat? Well, MJ is a capable hero. No, she's not. She's
not supposed to be that.
That's not what she is.
It's not what she is at all.
And it annoyed me. So I made a reference to the tweet on it, and I just said this was what I was meaning when I had our show and we talked about our views of the game and gave our reviews of it. A little mini review, nothing major. Our word is our word. It's what we feel. It doesn't mean anything to anybody else necessarily. And I said this is why I felt they kind of emasculated Peter. And because you could see they were leading to Miles taking over. I think they just kind of went about it in the wrong way, because if you play the game, you'll see what I mean and I didn't mean emasculate, like make him less of a man. That's why I said people took it that way. What I was trying to say is that they made him less effective in his role as Spider-Man. And I say that because Miles was clearly head and shoulders better than Peter in that game, flat out. And DC, I'm right. And that's why DC even wrote Miles greater than Peter. And he's right. In this game, Miles was like the mentor, and Peter was like the mentee, if you will.
Now I haven't played it yet. I heard Miles has to save him like multiple times.
He saved Peter at least 3 times on my count. At least
just shows you, like, I mean, I don't know who didn't think Miles was going to take over. I mean, I saw it coming. A mile away.
Exactly, you can see it coming a long time.
How did you not see that coming?
So true. Especially with the movies and all. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you watch the movies, which I just watched it the other day,
me too.
Excellent.
I like it. I
thought
the best one was better though.
Effing good.
I thought the first one was better, but I do agree with you.
I didn't actually. I actually liked the man.
You like the second one better?
Spider. Oh, I loved it. Yeah, I loved it so much. Right. But to me, Miles was a better game too, even though it was like elongated DLC, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. I liked him as a character. I liked his story better. You can hate on me, that's fine. But
you like what you like.
On the Miles thing from the get go.
I just hate his voice, but other than that, other than that, like, he has everything to, like, in my opinion, to take the series and make it more wild and maybe add some things that we're a little unfamiliar with the comic series. Bring that kind of stuff in, that'd be pretty dope. But yeah, I'm sorry to do this, but going back to Mary Jane.
He wants to harp on how terrible it was.
and you wanted to talk about a little bit of like the whole masculinity issue thing.
Yeah. I know what you're about to say. I know.
In a way, I kind of agree, especially towards the end of the game where it was just like, wow, like she is like, I don't know, like there's a few times in that game where she's just like seemingly just as powerful as Peter Parker.
It took a second for me to notice some of it. And I did until my second playthrough. You remember that part in the kitchen where Venom, and I don't want to give too much away, but Venom throws out a main blast of a tentacle to knock Pete, try to knock him through the wall. Why is she trying to play hero and jumps in front of Pete and takes the brunt? I'm not joking. I'm not joking. She takes the brunt of it.
I haven't played this yet, so
Rhetri, she jumps right in front of Pete as if she got spider powers,
like right,
and takes the brunt of it. And Pete is knocked under the refrigerator, and she gets hit and gets up like, she gets up like, I'm like, who is she? She is her. That's who she is.
She like shakes it off.
She shakes it off like Taylor Swift.
She don't need no man.
She shook it off, Rhetri. She shook it off like Taylor Swift. Damn it.
Umbra just hates women. That's what it comes down to.
And that's the problem I have with it, right? Because if you say anything like that,
you say anything on the internet, and it's gonna
turned into that.
In the gray, it's gonna be black or white.
Exactly.
Extremes, dude.
And
always is.
So check this out.
We can't go based on what we've been led to believe about Spider-Man.
Right.
With
decades of comics and such and media.
Exactly. You have to change it to fit into a narrative that is currently trying to be pushed right now.
Acceptable.
Which there's nothing wrong with said thing that they're trying to push, but in the way that you're trying to go about it by taking people's favorite pieces of history and kind of manipulating them. It's just kind of that's not messing with somebody's yard isn't a good way to get them to come outside happily.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I like that.
Y'all guys brought up that they already have Black Cat. I make Mary Jane Wick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like Black Cat is capable.
She is.
So if you want a female to really stand out in that game, have her do it.
Yeah, and
there was a couple dope females that popped up in that game.
Yeah, they could have used Silver Sable if they wanted.
Superhero females that popped up, and I was like, yo,
why not them? And that's the problem I had. And I see Mr. Joe in the Dark, and I get maybe that was possibly partially what they were going for, which was to let people know Pete is not alone and he has help, but not that much help, brother. Not to the point where Mary Jane is playing the role of a superhero too, and taking hits that Venom should have caved her chest in with. That's where I start losing. Okay, wait a minute now. Venom is literally breaking people's back when you get a portion later on in the game. I'm not going to go into much detail, but literally cracking their back with his bare hands. And he throws out a main blast tentacle to knock Pete, who is also a superhuman, back. And she jumps in front of it I'll save you. Stop. That right there, it just gets ridiculous. And she took it. She took it like a champ. She took it like she'd been like it was nothing. Yeah, so stuff like that. And all I was pointing out was that my main thing was to point out that they kind of emasculated Pete to the point where they made him less effective. That's what I was trying to say. I could have chosen a better word, maybe, that, to be fair.
Yeah, but I would have thought you were saying what you didn't mean.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I kind of let it slide and I explained to people.
There's no nuance on Twitter.
Right. And look, Boba says, with great power comes great mediocrity.
Right.
Yeah, and Rock, you know what, J-Rock hit it right on the head. This is the last thing I'll say on this before we move on, because we do have to move on. He says they had a whole boss fight with MJ telling Peter he wasn't shit, and he ain't wrong. I mean, he was literally, I'm not joking, Peter was getting, you fighting, I'm not going to give too much away. Just know that he was like, I know, you're right. I am, it's, it's all about you and all that. And you're not... I'm not joking. It did happen that way, and I didn't think about it until the second time I played it.
He sounded like he just won custody over something.
Yeah,
and he is about to use it against her.
Yeah, and
he needs to drop her, and he needs to go with Black Cat instead.
Man, I would have gone Black Cat anyway. She was fine, but I don't want to drag on it too much. I do think the game is great. So I say all that to say, The game is
Action
great,
is great.
but it has its issues, its story-wise here and there that I did not care for. And just how they handled the whole transition of Pete to Miles. Because Miles literally saves Pete, like you heard, Rhetri, at least 2 or 3 times. At least. He was a Deus Ex Machina at least 3 times that I can tell you right now off the top of my head that I won't say because I don't want to spoil anything. And I don't mind that. It's just like have Pete do some things too. And I'm like I said, I'm a long time comic reader. So some of that bothered me when I saw he couldn't do something without being saved. It just really bothered me. And I'm not trying to come off funny about it or funny style. It's just really how I felt. It's like, wait a minute. Like he did this and the other ones, but he can't do it here. And like, I get it's a different story, but still, I just didn't care for that. But that said, Spider-Man 2, I think has sold 5 million. So kudos to Insomniac and the team for a good launch of the game and everything like that. And we'll move to the news roundup, guys. Sorry about that whole long diatribe.
You know, one thing I want to point out about that game.
Yeah.
And some people may disagree and hate it, or think, "Oh man, this is kind of cakey or whatever." I really did enjoy the way that they rolled out the trophy system for Spider-Man. I thought it was very respectful for my time compared to remaster.
Yeah.
Miles Morales, I felt like it kind of, respected my time pretty well, but I felt like this one respected my time the best, especially with some of those fetchy missions.
Yeah.
It's like it knew it was a little over the top and it was like, all right, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. No, the trophy system for it is pretty solid. You know what? I think though with most first party PlayStation games, they're not that difficult, I found, to me, honestly, getting the trophies.
God of War, same
yeah.
God of War.
Exactly. They're not that tough, in my opinion. I think, like, and I'm an achievement whore, so I come from that background.
I'm not.
That's me. I'm a hound for the achievement score, like when I really get on it. And so I know, like, there are some tough ones to get. We come from the Gears of War background where the seriously achievement takes you, years possibly to get, and time and dedication.
Yeah, that stuff's insane. That stuff turns me on.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
I'm
That's
like,
too much.
I see that and I'm just like, you don't give 2 shits about how I spend my day.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on ahead and not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But we're going to move to the news roundup, and Rhetri is taking on a role of Danny tonight, so he's going to be reading the news roundup, and we're going to react to that, guys. And I want to see you guys in the chat, your thoughts on what we're talking about as well. And we got a part later on coming up with what I call the 2023 Game of the Year Gambit. And we're going to do it a little different than the standard. What do you think will be your nominees for the year? We're going to do a little different tonight. So I do want to get you guys participation in that. And just to say before we move to Rhetri, if you all have not done so, please hit the like button, or as Dirt would say, hit the like button and share this out if you can, please. I have a main tweet on my timeline you can share out. And thank you guys for being here. So Rhetri, what's on our news roundup for tonight?
We'll start off with Embracer Group's Chief Operating Officer. I don't know how to say this guy's name. I'll just say Igor Strunky.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, I have no clue. I did a video on this. I'm sure I butchered it. He's left the company after 8 years, which comes at a difficult time for the company as it recovers from failed major deal, the $2 billion deal that fell through. Embracer Group has been closing studios, canceling unannounced games as part of a company-wide restructuring, affecting obviously the employees and the game projects itself. But Strunky is sad to leave Embracer Group. Is he? Because he is starting his own game company called Strunky Games. So, it's kind of like, I'm sorry to leave the Titanic, but am I? I'm just going to take this boat real quick right here. It looks good. There's no holes in it. So I don't know. What do you got? You guys got any thoughts on this? I know I do. So I guess I'll start with you, Sentinel. Any thoughts on what the hell's going on Embracer?
Well, like Embracer as a whole, it kind of feels like they were banking on something to happen, and when it didn't, it's like they only had one plan, right? Mm-hmm. And when that one thing didn't happen, then they're kind of like, well, shit, what are we gonna do? And it's horrible to think now that you have Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal that belongs to them.
Yeah.
And Crystal Dynamics, of course, is tied up with a project with Microsoft right now, Perfect Dark, and I hope now that the ABK deal is done, that Microsoft picks up Crystal Dynamics, just because Embracer doesn't seem to know what the hell they're doing, because they were talking crazy nonsense. Oh, we have so many games in the works, and then they're canceling so many games and laying people off, and it's apparent they don't know what they're doing. So, and it's not that I want Microsoft to buy everything in sight, but when you have someone like Crystal Dynamics belonging to a company like Embracer that has no idea what they're doing, hell, I'd even be okay with PlayStation buying them. I just want someone who understands gaming to buy them. That's it.
Good point.
You know?
I agree with that. Just to save them. At this point, it's like about saving jobs and about saving talent, right? Like Crystal D just needs to survive in some form or function. Same with like Eidos Montreal. I mean, they're working on Fable right now. So you got two major studios, super talented, that are helping Xbox on major IPs. So yeah, I'm with you, Serge. I just, I obviously want Microsoft to buy them because I'm greedy and I want to save some money on any future games from Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal because I'm a greedy gamer. But yeah, I honestly, at this point, anybody, and it's just weird to me.
I'm gonna sound mad selfish.
That you haven't heard like more coming out of Embracer, them trying to sell these guys. I mean, there was the rumors of Gearbox being sold, so Gearbox, could be sold. We just saw Volition. They didn't try to even sell Volition. They just, put them under. Bury the hatchet and see you later.
It's
kind of
like
see that happen with these guys.
It kind of feels like you got someone who buys a well-known restaurant chain that has no idea about management or restaurants. That's what happened.
It sounds like an episode of Bar Rescue.
Right? There you go.
Exactly.
I can hear old boy yelling now.
Hey, there needs to be like a game. It's a game rescue. It's a game rescue, but the camera follows Phil Spencer around as he saves all these game studios. There you go.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that though, Ham? I heard you saying that you're about to sound real greedy. What's your...
Yeah, I'm gonna be greedy. No,
Not at all.
it don't go to PlayStation. Y'all stop it. It goes to Xbox. Done. That's where it needs to go. Because I tell you what, they're the one helping out with the initiative and whatnot. Right now. And I just think that team would want to continue to, if we're talking about sustainability and doing things, in a comfortable way and working with teams comfortably, I'd like to see teams get more comfortable with working with each other instead of bouncing from one place and then, I'm gonna help this person out with this, and now I'm gonna jump over to Sony and start working on them with this. It's just like, nah, man, this ain't no tow service, man. Like, just go to one place, and it'd be great to see. It'd be great to see Embracer say, "Yo, we need money. We down bad like Iger right now. We need to do something about it, and we need to stop the bleeding. And we see you guys are really working a lot with." With the initiative with Perfect Dark, but also seeing that they're kind of working on their own game as well. And, we ain't doing really shit with them. In fact, we just kind of picked them up. We didn't know what we were going to do with them. We just kind of took them because that's kind of what we do. So,
took them in like they were abandoned.
Hey, so Volition owns Embracer? Volition owns Embracer?
No.
I mean, Embracer owns Volition?
Yeah. No,
they're done, though.
They're
gone.
Yeah, they're gone now.
Oh, my God. No,
they're
you know
under.
What? Saints Row used to be an Xbox exclusive franchise. Someone hit Philip. He needs to buy that shit.
Right. My thinking is similar to Ham's. I'm greedy like you guys, same way. You already know. I feel like I saw this news and immediately, I'm sure like most of us did, immediately it was like, Phil, team,
get
on the board. Next year you need to bring these teams in. I've been feeling this way ever since. And you guys remember the conspiracy theory of Embracer getting them just because Microsoft couldn't at that point, and that they would later sell them to Microsoft. I think even if that was a bit of tinfoil, it would. But even if that was a bit of tinfoil headery, it's going to possibly be true anyway.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. So that's the thing I take away from this.
It's going to pan out. You're talking 300 million. That was nothing for them. That's pocket change
True.
for Microsoft. First of all, I would pay 300 million per studio.
Yeah.
Like that's how easily Microsoft could pick these guys up. It's
So true.
insane.
So true. And it's
They
like,
got
it's
all
well
of
worth
that
it.
for 300. That's nothing.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well worth it. And you get the IP and you get Laura Croft in particular in Deus Ex.
Yeah.
So like that right there.
Yeah, Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What, Thief, I think too? Doesn't Thief come with that?
Yeah, I think Thief was in there. I mean, if Embracer's in real trouble, you can get freaking Lord of the Rings for God's sakes. They own
That's
that
true.
IP too.
They
You
do
could get
own that.
another huge zeitgeist type of game. So
That's
I don't
fair
know. There's a
point.
lot.
Go on ahead
Just
and
like
pick up-
Gearbox, like they're talking about Gearbox getting sold. I just take it. I just take them. Like, why
Go
wouldn't
ahead
you
and pick
take
up Crystal
take that?
Dynamics just in time, right before Laura Croft comes out, so we can piss off everybody with an axe real quick,
Exactly.
right on front of the screen. Go ahead and turn on your Xbox and get salty. I love
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
I absolutely love it. Give me
Yeah.
them tears, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And what a self-fulfilling prophecy. And if that
I told
if it
you I'm
worked
getting
out,
selfish right now. I'm getting pretty selfish.
I don't know. Hey,
You should
I'm
be
with you.
though.
I'm with
Every
you.
time that happens, Ham, this is all I think about. Every time it's like every time you hear a bell, Angel gets his wings. Every time Microsoft buys a studio, I save $70. Like every time, I'll
There
take
you
it.
go.
Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I
Yep.
take that?
Yeah. Listen,
know?
that's why when
That'll
people
be
argue
great.
all that against it and but blah 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 and what's this? And what about this?
Consolidation.
Yeah,
I
and
hate
it's
that argument.
monopoly and listen. If you have Game
It's no
Pass,
monopoly.
you should be. I'm sorry, I can't argue against my own benefit. I just won't do it. You know, it's a W getting all
Yeah.
these games to launch into that. I'm sorry, I'm never going to be like, I don't want more of these easily
Exactly.
grab like accessible games for a low price of whatever a month. No, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that. So, but yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's my thinking too. Is that it will be well within Microsoft's right to be smart enough to grab them, and I think it'll just make sense,
Mhm.
right? Like you got Crystal Dynamics, who used to work under Daryl Gallagher, who was the head of the initiative anyway. So they used to be under him. Why not bring that team in fully to
Mhm.
do that? I
Come
think
on home.
come on home, and I think
Yeah.
even with Eidos, I think they're working with the Fable team, right? If I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
they are.
yeah, so like to me, it just makes sense. You know what I mean? It just makes sense that it should happen. So that's where I'm at with it. But there was other news outside of Eagle Strunk.
Mm-hmm. Strunk. Yeah. So we got Like a Dragon scores that are out. Let me see.
No, but
Like a
the
Dragon
time
Gaiden.
splitter, the time splitters part with Free Radical.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
No,
yeah.
no
So,
doubt.
oh, jeez, that's yeah. See, I knew I was gonna forget that part.
Yeah.
Let me
No, that's-
scroll down. Yeah. So this one pisses me off. So, Time Splitters developer Free Radical design is at threat of being closed by Embracer. Just 2 years after it was reestablished, sources have told VGC. So I actually kind of forgot that Embracer even had Free Radical, but I did know that there was a reboot of Time Splitters that was in the making. So this is a game that I absolutely cherished. I loved. It's one of the games I've been waiting for a reboot forever. And to hear this, it sucks, man. I don't know. Have you guys played Time Splitters at all back in the day, or?
I played
Yeah, I
that.
got both of them.
I still have it.
It's on Xbox, right? Like backwards compatible or whatever.
I think you're right. It
Is it
might
in the
be.
back?
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was.
It is, yeah.
I think I bought a couple of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it's a shame because that's a classic IP too. Like you would love to see something like
Mhm.
that continue on, but yeah, now they're in danger of closing down. I think, by the way, this speaks to a lot of Embracer, because I had this debate with a brother of mine named Aaron on Twitter. You guys know him as Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Exactly. And we had that talk, and he's like, "Oh, I don't see that happening with," because he I think he knows some of these guys as far as industry goes, and because he's over in Sweeterland, as we call it, and such, and so he knows a lot of them. And I had this debate with him well before this happened, and I said I think Embracer is going to start selling off things, and then we hear about this guy resigning here, Eagle, and now we're seeing this, and we're seeing after that whole thing fell apart with their deal that they were trying to make. You're going to see. I think you're going to see much more of this. I think it's almost, to me, it sounds like a foregone conclusion that Crystal D, as you called him, makes me think of the damn Sunny D. But Crystal D and Eidos, I think those are going to be sold off at a point too. I think they're going to have to start, cutting losses because cutting ties with IP and studios. They have to save on the losses they've taken. That's what I'm feeling.
You know what?
Yeah.
I hope that Amazon does not buy them. Please, God.
Yeah, kind of with that. I don't want to see
Me
another
either.
huge competitor like that.
Although speaking of Amazon,
I'd rather see Sony get them over Amazon.
Speaking of Amazon, don't they got their leasing out the Tomb Raider IP, I think.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, they're leasing it out. I think they have some team co-working or co-developing it with them, under them or something like that, or something to that nature. I saw. I should have probably looked.
I remember seeing
more.
that too.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I didn't look into it because it's Amazon.
Yeah.
And I moved on with my day.
Yeah. You're like it's them. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Makes me feel gross.
Yeah. No, but I'm with you guys. I would rather it be a Sony, if not Microsoft. Keep that within the studio, the publishers we know.
The big three. Yeah.
Exactly.
Somebody. EA. I don't care, but not Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
No. Keep them PlayStation or Xbox because I don't want to have to buy a Nintendo to play some Tomb Raider or any of that stuff.
Yeah. Touche. That's a good point.
Fair.
Don't want to have to buy another damn device.
Fair.
All right, I'll move on to the next subject. Sorry, Embracer, and all the shit that's going down with y'all. But Like a Dragon Guide and the man who erased his name, the longest name ever in a video game, scoring pretty decent. VG 247, 5 out of 5. Windows Central 4 out of 5. PC Magazine 4 out of 5. Screen Rant 4.5 out of 5. It's averaging right now about a Metacritic of an 82, so it's not too bad. That game just dropped into Game Pass today, actually. Are you guys playing any? Have you played any of the Yakuza series? Is this one interesting you at all? I'm playing Ishin right now. I'm way behind on the Yakuza stuff, but what do you guys think about this game? Is this one that interests you at all, or?
I can tell you based on the scores, I'm not interested because it seems like games are always scored like that. I'm not gonna lie, like it's just weird. Like I don't.
We mean because IGN gave another 7 out of 10 for the 1 millionth
right?
time.
Damn you, Dan Stapleton.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, just scoring in general. In general. No one really has a good understanding of what they're doing anymore. It's either I don't know. It's either like it's just so inconsistent, and even with its own like like IGN having their own system that they've done for years, like the inconsistencies even within that, I just cannot really look at a score and take it serious and be like, that looks like a good game to play or something like that based on this score. I guess reading into some of the reviews, even some of the crappy ones, those are better to me than a number score. Number scores to me are out of date. They shouldn't.
Well, I mean, everybody has their own way to get to that number, and then when you go to Metacritic, every single number is weighted differently. Mm-hmm. So it literally doesn't make sense by definition of how Metacritic works in the first place. But
100%
I know.
agree.
I think it's kind of like
I feel like half the time people play the game and or people don't play the game. And me and Cozy were talking about this the other day, actually. And we were in agreement because it's like half the time a score comes out, somebody didn't even get to the same point as somebody else in the game.
Yeah.
So like the score doesn't. So it's not. So although it's a score in progress, that's the score that it's gonna forever look at. Be looked on. Be looked on as. But there's also people out there that just blindly vote and say, yeah, it's a 10 based on the way people are happy about it. And that literally doesn't make any sense because you're not into that game. So it's already a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need to just be honest all across the board. And I've been guilty of that exact same thing as well. Of just seeing reception and being like, it must be good. I'll throw an 8 out for it. Even though I've never been into the game, and if I were to turn it on, I'd probably give it like a 4 or a 5. Well, I should not a 4 because 4 is like a broken game.
Yeah.
So I'd probably give it like a 5 or 6.
So you would never give a 4 to a game that isn't broken.
A
Like
game
IGN
that isn't broken.
I was setting that one up.
A game that isn't
Like a
broken,
campaign that works fine and isn't as bad as
If the game isn't broken and has like some sort of like, if Kong, let's say Kong, right? If that game worked perfectly, that might still deserve a 4 just on effort. Just based on effort. It's just like that effort is atrocious.
Fair enough. You know,
right there.
Yeah. I was gonna say for me, I've played all the Yakuzas up to at least Yakuza 3. And that's that's when the modernization stopped. Because you had Kiwami, you had Zero, Kiwami 2. Those were great. Loved them. The thing about the Yakuza games, though, and it's what makes it tough, at least for me to continue on. So I know where you stopped, Rhetri. It's like it takes a lot of time. It's a lot of time investment.
Yeah.
To really get through those. You know what I mean? It takes a lot.
That's part of the problem.
Yeah, man. And so
let me tell you with Ishin too.
Yakuza though, right?
It really is Yakuza because like Ishin's really bad
like
of that. Like if you don't like reading, you're gonna hit a lot.
Yeah, so true.
Because there are conversations that are like legit 10 minutes long.
No,
like,
no lie.
Shit.
No lie.
That is not an exaggeration, by the way.
Yeah, it's not. He's not wrong. And that's the problem I had with it. It's like it's a lot of time investment. So when I got to 3, it's not modernized. It's the old Yakuza, but I think updated as far as like pixel count. Like what's the word I'm looking for here? Like an HD update, I think.
Fidelity.
Yeah, I think they did something like that with it, right? But it's not the modern version that I came to love, at least with Zero, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2. So I kind of deviated to go to other games, and that's the problem. So I have to get back to that, and I'm the weird type that likes to play in succession. I don't like going out of order, like, you know what I mean? So that's how I am. So I don't want to jump I don't want to jump to 6 or 7, and I haven't gotten through 3. I'm like, what's going on in this story? It's already convoluted enough. So that's the thing for me. But I do want to play this. I do want to play Ishin. That's on Xbox and Game Pass as well. Like, I played a demo of it, by the way, at Ishin. It was pretty fun. And I like the setting and all that. But yeah, I do want to try this out. I think it's now settled. It's at a 78 and a 79 respectively on Open and the Metacritic. So that's pretty good overall.
It's fairly consistent for what it's been.
It is. Yeah, it's pretty consistent, and that's a good score. I like I said, I've liked these past games, so the Yakuza series. So this is a definite W for Game Pass, in my opinion. And I'm seeing a lot of my buddies on Twitter right now sharing clips of it right now. So, if you guys haven't given it a try, give it a try. I think you'll like it. But what else did we have in the news, Rhetri?
Yeah, sure. So this is from Neo GameSpark, put this out on Twitter. He says, yikes, no wonder Microsoft and Sony ditched Twitter integration. At the low end, it would cost $500,000 a year. And they're large entities, so the bill would be much higher by comparison. So this is obviously having to do with like Xbox first pulled out of the Twitter integration pause. And now Sony has done the same thing. For obvious reasons. It's just too much money to be able to share out your clips with everything that Elon has been doing, and he's just effing up this app left and right. And I know because I pay for it, unfortunately.
You and me both.
Everything he does, I swear to God, it just gets worse and worse.
You and me both, brother. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah. And I do it because I'm sending out long videos and stuff like that. So I have a purpose of doing it, but it's like, it's really annoying to see like all the weird moves that he's doing. And I can't get an answer from Twitter because he's fired 80% of the staff. So it takes like 2 months for me to get an email answer back. But anyways, back onto this whole thing. Does this bother you guys? Did you guys use the feature a lot, going directly from, like the game share essentially from Xbox directly to Twitter? I know I used it, but I don't know if the general public was using it like in general,
Yeah. What did you guys ever use that like that? And
all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
So I use it all a lot, and I'll often share clips and screenshots and stuff like that. Shout out to Hargeet who hates the photo mode.
Who hates it all?
we were
Stop taking screenshots.
Stop enjoying it. That's one of the songs we were singing, by the way, in that Halo party was photo mode. just to piss Hargeet off.
Is that like Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it is.
I love it.
So we had that going, and I often share images a lot. So it was easier to be able to send it straight from Xbox. However, sending it straight from Xbox to Twitter, the bad part is Twitter's compression is so trash that it's even worse that way. So doing it through the phone where you send it through OneDrive actually yields a better result, believe it or not.
Yep.
So, at a point it was like, it's more convenient, obviously, to send it straight from Xbox or PlayStation. PlayStation's, by the way, I'm sorry to say this, Xbox guys, if you don't know it, PlayStation's integration and their DVR situation is like miles ahead of Xbox.
Miles ahead.
Sorry.
It is until you try to transfer those files to your PC to use them as clips.
He's right. Okay,
Fair.
He's definitely right on
Fair
that.
point.
I used to make PlayStation content. It's a freaking nightmare, dude. He's not wrong about that.
Fair point.
It's a nightmare. It stinks.
Fair point.
Yeah.
But like in general, like when it's just like not trying to do anything too elaborate, I suppose I found it to be pretty simple, just handling it through PlayStations and in general, I would say. But I do get you on that point. But like I think though, like I remember there was a lot of fuss being made about Microsoft doing that from our brothers on the other side. Yeah, I don't want to go. I didn't want to say it.
Oh, dude, you coined that. I was just quoting you.
Yeah, but listen, let me embrace it. Skip it. Yeah, from our Hoove brothers, there was a much fuss made about that when Xbox did it. And they're cheap and they don't want to share anything. Where are those game clips and all that nonsense? And now, lo and behold, you see Sony following suit. And I think I don't see why anybody is surprised with what Elon and the team were doing and the moves and decisions he's made. It's pretty that's a lot of money over time to spend, and it's like you said.
Oh yeah,
it's $42,000 a month, so 500 and some odd plus thousand a year. And like you said, and those being bigger entities, they probably charge them way more than that. So I don't blame them for pulling out of that integration wise when it comes to that. I don't think it's a bad move on Sony. I don't think it was a bad move when Microsoft did it, personally. We'll see, because Elon did say he's going to look into it, I guess. So maybe they'll try to find a workaround for that to get it back on. So we'll see.
10% discount. That's he's not going to do shit. Like, what is he going to do?
Right.
I'd
say no to 42,000 a month? No.
Well, he needs to take into consideration how many people go to Twitter specifically for video games. Just video game content, video game news. It brings a lot of traffic to his platform, and he needs to take that into consideration when adjusting this price.
Fair enough. And I agree. I think that's, by the way, why both Microsoft and Sony have decided to opt out, is because they probably looked at how many of us actually share clips and things of that nature straight to it. So they were like, is this worth that? You know what I mean? So maybe that's part of the issue, so.
I feel like Microsoft's just better at reading the future than Sony, just flat out.
Oh, no question.
They just are, and they're just like, I see where this is going because we've done stuff like this before. We're out.
Yeah. I agree with you there. That's a fair point, actually. I think Microsoft, but sometimes to their credit and sometimes to their benefit and dismay, is that they have been very forward thinking, and it and sometimes it came back to bite them. Sometimes
detriment. Yeah,
exactly. So you're right. I think maybe that is the case. They saw where this was going and was like, nope. Yeah, we're gonna get on out of this. But yeah, what else did we have, Rhetri?
We got the Blizzard boss is optimistic about a more independent future under Xbox. So the makers of Diablo, Warcraft, and Overwatch are hopeful that the new regime from Microsoft will restore the studio's sense of autonomy. Says what they were trying to communicate with us, really wanting to get to know us, said John Haidt, general manager of Warcraft franchise. We're not here to tell you what to do. We're not coming in with the master plan. How can we help you? It was awesome. So he's basically just talking about, Xbox CEOs and everyone coming in there. We worried about them overtaking, the direction that ABK is going. Sounds like nope. Sounds like they're just doing kind of what they've always been saying. Like Phil Spencer's been saying that we just let these guys make whatever they want, whatever they're passionate about. And it seems like it's just kind of more the same. This isn't going to be the Bobby Kotick show anymore very soon, actually.
Yeah.
They'll just be able to do whatever they want. So any thoughts about that, guys, with these studios, having free reign to do whatever they want, and Microsoft just there to basically back them up with a paycheck, I guess.
I mean, I think that's great for Blizzard. Maybe not for Arcane Austin, but I think that's
Damn.
Right? Yeah, we might need an overseer on that one. Yeah.
yeah.
No, I agree with
Very
that
true.
to a degree. I don't want to trash on the Arcane Austin, but yeah, I think if you put out something in a product and it didn't work, yeah, they might have to keep a closer eye on you. I do agree with that. That's not unfair to say. It's like the same thing with 343. It's like, yeah, they need more eyes on them to make sure they get things right now. So, and once they show that, hey, no, we got this, yeah, you can back off a little bit. But I do appreciate the newer Microsoft where they allow these studios creative freedom like that and not dictating to them what to make. And because of that, we've got a much more diverse landscape than Xbox has ever had, and it's much more diverse than any other platform. So I think that right there is a real good positive, maybe outside of Nintendo, to be fair.
Right.
To credit to Nintendo because they're pretty diverse. But yeah, so I think it's a real good positive, honestly. And what I'm most excited about because of this is that we will possibly see much more, at least, use of the lore and the franchise that they have. Like the Warcraft lore, like there's so much to gain from that. It's the same thing like we talk about with Halo, like how they could go this direction with
Spin-offs.
Halo. Exactly, spin off the lore. And I talked about this on a Boom show, and I said what I would like for them to do, at least one of my wish list thoughts would be, is to spin off like the Warcraft lore, maybe with the Alliance or the what do they call them again, for the Horde, and allow us to use those characters and their archetypes in a big open world kind of RPG setting, like a Witcher 3 kind of thing, or they can make it kind of Diablo-esque where you have these characters in those builds and you can create your own within that set character parameter. Like I have an orc, I can make an orc character and use the archetype of the orc, or I can make a warrior or whatever else they have, right, and go from there. It's like something like that they can really expand on. And because my feeling is,
I like that idea.
Thank you. And because we talk,
I don't know shit about WoW, so but
I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot either, but I know that their lore is pretty steep from what I've seen. And like because we talk about the whole thought of bringing WoW to console, and and I think that possibly will happen sooner or later. But like, I would want them to update the engine. Like, I don't want to be playing a game that looks. I agree. It looks outdated.
I agree.
Let's just be real.
It's super outdated. I think even the WoW fans would probably admit to that. So I would want to see. And I have no clue what engine it's running on. I don't know anything about WoW. I just know it looks interesting. And at the end of the day, I would like to see it come to console. I mean, Age 4 did, and other games like that did. So why not WoW? Like, I think you can make it work. But yeah, I think it needed. I think it needs some updated visuals, especially if it's not going to come for another few years, most likely. And you're getting towards the end of a console cycle, which means the visuals are supposed to be top notch by then. So yeah, I think it needs a little bit of updating. So we'll see what happens. So
definitely.
But next,
yeah,
I was gonna go to the next topic. Did you have any more?
Nope, no, you're not yet, buddy.
Okay.
You know what? The only thing I gotta say about Blizzard is they need to show up with that Overwatch 2 campaign. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, thank you. All right. See, I thought I was the only one on planet Earth who still likes Overwatch, so I guess someone else is there.
My teenagers play it, but they talk about it every day, and they're pretty pissed that the single player campaign just dropped off.
Yeah, straight up just lied. They just lied. Like they said they were going to do something and then just didn't do it, and that's not a good look. So yeah.
I tell you though about this whole situation and whatnot, like that seeing Mike Ybarra on stage at BlizzCon, if you watched it, it was pretty wild.
Yeah,
it was like one of those kind of heartfelt moments moments where it's like, it's almost like you've seen somebody come back alive, where they just weren't sure where they were really going in life, and then they figured it out. It was like one of those moments where
the clouds
like,
parted.
I'm so happy for you right now, buddy. I'm so happy for you, because he looked like a little kid that got his wish.
He
right?
did.
I'm not lying when I say that, because if you literally sat there and watched it and seen how he was like so thankful to, you know, everybody that stuck with him and how proud he was of them, and then he introduced Phil to come out on stage.
Dude, you saw him, he was like crying. Like he was that dude was straight up tearing up.
After Phil left stage and he had to get back on the mic again, he started choking up.
Yeah.
Yep.
A little bit. He went to go speak, and then it was that awkward pause.
Yes. Like
where he had to take
reset.
a deep breath.
Yeah.
Yes.
And exactly, Rhetri, he had to reset and be like, okay.
That's how much that's why I love that dude. That's how much he loves his team. Like you can see it. You know what I mean? This is you can absolutely see it with Mikey.
When I saw that, by the way, and you're right, you guys, like I saw that and I was kind of like not taken aback. I was kind of like smiling, kind of like a little, I guess, kind of like cheesing a little bit,
little giddy.
Yeah, because it was nice to see that, you know, people with these, like Mike Ybarra is well off. He doesn't have to work anymore, I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? But you got people who actually care. Like these dudes are passionate about what they do. These people who make our games and bring us joy. So it's good to see that they care like the way he cares, to the point of being brought to tears on the possibilities of what they can do and what the creative freedom they might have now, and and being able to bring their vision forward like that. I think that it speaks a lot to how sometimes cynically we are as gamers, where we kind of like, I think a lot of us are very cynical. That's the gaming landscape in general. And
I'll be honest, Umbra.
Yeah.
I was taken back because I'm sitting here thinking, yo, Mike Ybarra's feeling this type of way. And it was like it was already evident when he was on the stage to usher in the show and tell everybody welcome and everything. But when he came back to the mic and the way he was looking and feeling about that, because keep in mind, he put on Twitter, happy to join Microsoft and whatnot. Same with a bunch of other Activision, Blizzard, King execs did the exact same thing. But it's one thing to read it and another thing to see it. And when you see it, you're just like, Xbox really made this man look like this right now. After 2017, 2016, 2018 and Xbox, now they're making people do this on stage? Yo, it's different.
It is. It hits different for sure. And it's crazy to come from where we came from, as far as, and I know I'm throwing in the Wii, and somebody's probably like, what does this Xbot mean, Wii?
All right, I'm paying you.
All right, you don't have any Microsoft
I say
bucks?
Wii all the time. I get nailed by that.
It's our heritage.
Yeah, you speak French now? You talking about Wii? I'm playing Jusant too. But no, like, I get it. And I'm saying we because those of us who have stayed steadfast and down.
Because we held the line, dude.
We have. We held the line. Shout out to King David. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And listen, so because of that, I have to say, like we've been down with this brand for so long. To see them come from 5 studios to 44 studios, all considering, of course, the helper studios and all of that, support studios included. That's crazy growth. You can't turn a blind eye to that, in my opinion, and act like that these people should not be excited. Like, and seeing Phil even come out there and did a little Irish 2-step jump that he did, and just slapping his arm on the side of his leg and thigh. Like, Phil was even hyped. You know what I mean? So that, I think that speaks a lot to how much this means to all of them. We already knew Phil was passionate about this and that he truly cares as a real gamer. But to see that from other people that, that they're bringing back into the fold with Mike Ybarra now returning back to Microsoft, and like Rod Ferguson, it's a beautiful thing to me, and I'm not saying that as an Xbot to those who have a hoot of variety who might be listening. I'm just saying that in general as gaming. I would love to see that from every publisher. I would love to see Sony execs, if they ever deemed you all worthy to talk to do the same. And that was shade, by the way. But yeah, so but but I love seeing that right there. It really does inspire the thought of these people, the thought at least that these people really care, and I did appreciate that. But I do want to read this super chat and the big thank you to our brother Kay Asante, who donated into Borrow a Boom's line a generous $5 super chat, and he says, Daniel isn't here. I need to mention that the sellers of the Abacus are incapable of making a modern AAA game. Eyeballs looking. No Crystal D for Nintendo, please. Kay is on our side with it. You see that? Yeah. Shout out, Kay. Thank you for that, brother. Speaking of that Abacus, didn't we have some news of a new Abacus that's being brought out? Rhetri, I'm pretty sure I posted a link about that. Yeah. If I'll introduce it. So there is news. Go for it. There is news now of the new OLED version of the Steam Deck.
No, the Steam Deck. Okay.
Yeah. So speaking of the Abacus, Steam Deck OLED has just been revealed. It starts at $549, and it releases this is the 16th of this month. So it kind of just pulled that out of nowhere. Like, oh, here you go. So the 16th of this month. Excellent starting price of basically $550. Striking contrast, brilliant clarity, and a larger picture. 30 to 50% more battery life, increased bandwidth and lower latency, faster downloads, which that's what that enables. It runs cooler and weighs 30G or 5% lighter than the original LCD model. That's a W right there, all around, as far as I'm concerned. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you have the Steam? Almost said the Switch. Do you have the Steam Deck, and are you guys thinking maybe to upgrade or grab the OLED model?
I tell you what, if I were to upgrade, I ain't upgrading to that.
You waited for the
why not?
The way you said it.
You waiting for that Switch too?
He waited for that Switch too. I already know what it is.
No, I would much rather get the Legion Go.
Okay. The more powerful.
It's just I have a Steam Deck, and it's great and all, but remember, it's still a Steam product. So if I want to be able to play my Xbox stuff more comfortably without having to do all that back end stuff again that I already did, thanks to Kay Asante for being the technical wizard that I cannot or have not became. But I appreciate him for walking me through it. But I tell you what, I don't want to do that twice.
And was it that much of a pain in the butt? I thought they were supposed to make it easier.
It's not much of a pain in the butt. It's just not made for that.
Like out the box, yeah.
Exactly. I'd rather have something out the box that I can trust that just works. Like, shout out Todd Howard right there.
Right? It just works.
It just works. And just to do all that extra stuff and then having to be worried about it, and then keep in mind, this is on a SD card that it's running from. So like, I don't want to. No, I mean, well, I already got.
You already got. Yeah, I mean, you got version 1, so I wouldn't. I don't think I would get it either if I were you. I mean, you're only getting you're getting OLED, you're getting extra battery, and you're getting an extra 30 frames maybe on most games. But so I probably wouldn't touch it if I were you either.
Yeah, man. I've been really looking at that Legion Go, but like Kay Asante is telling me to wait for Microsoft and one.
Oh boy, and I know I'm waiting a hot minute.
I know, right? But like I'm so good at drifting off the main topic, but like I'd really love to see. I'd really love to see. Oh, that's why that's why I'd consider myself somewhat decent at podcasting, because I can just keep talking forever.
It's a sign of a good podcaster that you can talk about anything. Yeah.
Right. But I'd really like to see, because hey, I'm looking to upgrade a phone. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Oh boy. Don't call it a comeback.
He's been here for years.
We're soaring back.
I love it.
Yeah.
As I look at this Spider-Man stuff, we soaring.
Yeah. But
you and Jez.
Yeah, right.
Living in Crazy Tower all by yourselves.
Yeah, waiting for the old Surface to come back. I guess the old phones.
Yeah. Hey, my Samsung Note 20 will be just fine until that happens.
Oh yeah, you will. That's the funny thing. Like I'll keep moving up to the galaxies and such. I'm on Galaxy S20, there's 23, and like we kind of in that ret race of continuously buying those. But those phones are great. Even the one you have right there with the Note that you just mentioned. Like you don't,
fantastic.
Yeah, you don't have to upgrade to these newer ones. Like they're superb phones through and through. But
it came with Xbox already advertised in it. And
there you go.
So
there you go. But what else did we have, Rhetri, in the news? I know I skipped ahead with the Abacus.
No, I skipped ahead, so I'm going to go down from where you skipped.
Yeah.
The next Mass Effect is nowhere near releasing, according to Jeff Grubb. He says, I was told when they announced Dragon Age Dreadwolf in 2018. This is a similar timeline. So Mass Effect is nowhere near close to releasing. Is likely due in, I guess, 2028, 2029.
Oh, Jesus.
Yikes. So
Man.
that sucks.
That sucks a
thoughts?
lot. Yeah. Go ahead, Sarge. Go ahead, Sarge.
You know what? I'm like a big time Mass Effect guy, and that's like a kick in the jimmies right there.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. Because it's like, you ever heard the saying, you gotta strike while the iron's hot?
Mm-hmm.
Mass Effect is like striking while the iron's hot. I mean, it's like you're talking about another decade, essentially.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And we're talking 2029.
You're in next gen. You're in the next gen.
Yeah,
For God's sake.
it's like the original Mass Effect came out on the Xbox 360, and you're talking about it coming on the Xbox Y and Z, whatever the hell comes next.
Mhm.
That's crazy. It's like, why would you delay it that much? And it's like Electronic Arts has the. I want to believe that they have the ability to increase BioWare's size so that they can be working on 2 titles with 2 different large studios.
Right.
I want to believe that, especially since I think more people are looking forward to Mass Effect than Dragon Age. I'm sorry for the fans out there, but that's just how it is.
Yeah.
More
I
people
don't think
want
that's
Mass
up
Effect
for debate. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I would prefer them to make that their primary project, and then just say, hey, Dragon Age, whatever it's called, it's coming in 2029. Mass Effect 4 is coming in 2024. That's what I would prefer. But to hear that it doesn't, I'm just like, oh my god. By the time it comes out, no one's, it's like, yeah, you'll have played the Legendary Edition, but all the people that played it way back in the day will probably have moved on to other stuff. I don't know if it's going to have the same weight as it would if it launched this generation,
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
I mean, AJH makes a good point, and he's saying exactly kind of what I thought in my head. And he's like, it's like people expecting Fall and Elder Scrolls to come out soon. It's kind of the same problem, right? If you don't, to Sentinel's point, if you don't expand out these studios to work on this stuff, then you have to wait for the other IP like Dragon Age to finish before you start even working on the next one, and that kind of sucks when you have you kind of miss.
Then that kind of
leans
leans into one of the other topics for tonight that we had mentioned previously about the AI stuff. If you implement this AI, will it shorten that timetable?
Touche.
Yeah, and
Pam, you got anything on this?
That'll be one of the main ones we'll get to later. But yeah, Pam, what's your thoughts on it, Ham?
It stinks, but I mean, what can you do about it? And that I'm sure they're trying to reach a pedigree higher than they have ever before, and they can't do that without a crazy sort of time length, especially with the kind of quality that they provide as well. So, I mean, I'm not crazy surprised. I also think that they're kind of trying to dodge this generation's consoles. And they'd like to be
Series
able
S.
To... They'd
the
like
potato. It's the potato's fault.
Right.
Well, seriously, I think they'd like to be able to come out and be comfortable with the specs that are going to be future consoles and stuff like that. So I just think it's probably a smart decision, but it just kind of stinks. But if they, I mean, we're talking, like we're mad about GTA 5. Right.
Yeah.
You want to talk about something that you're waiting on, Mass Effect. I mean, I feel bad for those people that are like, waiting for that game compared to the fans for GTA 5. I don't feel near as bad for. as much anymore when you think about it like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much all I got to say about that. I hope that they can figure out, especially for these monstrosity businesses, because as much as people want to say, "Oh, AI bad," I don't want to, like the whole Alana Pierce. Like as much as people say that stuff, no one's whining about doing as much work as it was back in the 90s for video games.
Way more work.
All of that stuff, like the Don KTR, shout out to him. I've shouted him out a few different times. Like he says that like the direction that gaming's in, it's so much more streamlined than it was previously. Back like think about like the early Gears of War versus the Gears of Wars now. And how much the coalition don't have to worry about certain aspects of a game like that anymore, compared to how long it'd take them to code certain things that are, you know, way more difficult than what it is now, where it's like kind of basic, where it's kind of like basic to a point that maybe they might want to actually go a little harder this time.
Yeah, no, fair thoughts on that.
I'm 100% with innovation, because with that innovation and people maybe losing jobs, which isn't great, but it may bring them the opportunity, and now it's easy enough for you to create your own studio and get to work for yourself.
That's a good point. Actually, I never thought about it that way. But even beyond that, because I do want to get into that topic, we will go into that kind of briefly on the AI thing. We possibly could move into it now, actually, now that you were speaking on it.
Yeah, we probably should.
You know what? Let's do that, because the time, I'm looking
probably
at the
go
time.
on the main topics.
I'll say this thing here. So before we go to that, so I just wanted to point out, Bloomberg reported from Jason Schreier that Call of Duty's Modern Warfare 3 campaign and such, and everything in it, I guess, was developed in less than a year and a half. And said employees worked nights and on weekends to finish the game. So they, by the way, which possibly goes to the whole AI situation being of help to stop the crunch like that. By the way, so quick thoughts on that, guys. What do you think? Do you think that the 4 out of 10 for the campaign is starting to make some sense? Hearing that,
it doesn't make sense to me at all. Period. Personally, I know a lot of people didn't like the open worldness and kind of like the Warzone-esque levels that were in it, and if you don't like that, then yeah, it's gonna affect your score personally, because that's just something that you personally didn't like. I did not mind them. I actually did like them. But if you're looking at like scoring campaign solo, which they've been doing for a while now, they did it with Halo Infinite. You like, it's almost like they're not paying attention to their own way of scoring. You look at fidelity, you look at frames, you look at the artwork, you look at everything, and it feels like the game was a little too short, and they didn't like the open worldness of the game. It's a 4. Like, I don't know how you get to a 4 on that campaign. I just don't get it.
I agree.
I don't think it was fantastic. I think it was a little short. It was shorter than most of the campaigns, but all in all, I had a pretty good time with it. And I played it just to see if it was a fair score, because I'm okay with low scores if they're fair, but in my opinion, I can't see a 4 for that game personally. But a lot of people did. A lot of people disagree with what I think, and that's fine. Honestly, COD for me is about multiplayer anyway, so I don't really care too much about the campaign.
Yeah.
So I'll put probably 1,000 hours into COD multiplayer, but that's just me. Just me.
I hear you, and I'm more of the opposite, where I'll be more campaign focused. But I definitely get your point there. But what about you, Sarge? What's your take on that? Does it make sense for that 4 out of 10 in some ways to you? And I'll ask another question for you guys. Do you think that them putting it out that fast speaks to how maybe Microsoft and Activision both wanted to kind of get from under that contract they had with Sony, as this was the last game they needed to make under the contract for the marketing with them?
Yeah, I heard about, and I know it had come out previously. I don't remember if it was confirmed, but they said that the Modern Warfare 3 that we got this year was essentially supposed to be DLC for last year's Modern Warfare, which I think kind of makes sense given how short it is. I feel like that 4 out of 10 is more them trying to strike back at Xbox because they won the ABK war. That's what it feels like. Because otherwise, I think it would have gotten like a 7 or 8. You know, and as far as like the quality of the game, I do think it's like the team that was working on this were pretty much out of fucks to give, so to speak. And they just wanted it out the door. They said, "Oh Jesus, let's just get this out the door and get it over with." And that's probably why it's in the shape it's in. As far as multiplayer goes, multiplayer is kind of what sells Call of Duty. The campaign isn't as important from a monetary standpoint, so they're not. It wasn't one of those things where they're like, "Hey, it's a 4-hour campaign, so we gotta add more content to it." They were kind of like, "Multiplayer works, it's fine. Let's get it, let's get it out the door and get it on the shelves." So
yeah, okay, fair enough. What about you, Ham? Did you have anything to add to that on the Modern Warfare
I just
thing?
don't think. I think getting around the number 4, like I said earlier, is like a broken game. Shout out to what Sav said on ILP. I was on the show with the Iron Lords, and I really like that what Sav had to say about like 4 is literally like so bad that like it's almost like not functional.
I think that's why I mentioned that earlier. That's exactly what I was getting at.
And that's kind of what I want to hit on as well, because I don't know, I played the campaign, and sure, it's definitely not the most gripping campaign that I've played so far. And might I add, I'm like an hour and a half in it, so I'm about a third of the way through.
Yep, you are.
But yeah, I mean, the cinematics are still beautiful. The gunplay is the exact same. It's exactly what you would expect from a Call of Duty game. I mean, 4 to me is just trying to like. I feel like somebody said, "Hey, I give this a 6," and they're like, "You know what?
Oh yeah, hold my beer.
Did you forget something?" And they're like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Yo, it's on your Xbox now. Let's give it that thanks, dog. Let's give it
exactly."
and they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." So I just felt like this game is the worst it could be is like a 5.5.
Yeah,
that's the worst. I would like look at it for and be like, I'm actually kind of interested in reading this review because this kind of makes sense. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it is kind of like if you're looking for a Call of Duty to be like the next big experience, this isn't it. Until you go to maybe the multiplayer, because I think the multiplayer is going to be the big hitter piece about this, because that's what it is every time a Call of Duty game comes out. And I just find it weird that with certain games, especially, you know, or just with certain games, they like to kind of piece together as if it's like two purchases. Like, I'm paying $70 for this, but you're giving me 2 different scores. Like,
I found it odd too. That's the oddest part for me.
They've been doing it for a little bit, so it's not.
It is still relatively new, though. It hasn't been like that. That concept hasn't been around forever.
I know they did it with Halo too, right? They did it for Halo Infinite, for instance.
Yeah. Yes.
It to me, it just makes no sense. It's like okay, I'm driving my car and I enter into a car show. You give my engine a 10, but the rest of the body a 7.
Yeah.
Like what does that even mean? What are we doing here?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think the 4 out of 10, and I think we all agree. I think most of the chat does too. And when I hear a 4 out of 10, you may as well have said the game was a 2 out of 10, because that
exactly.
You know, it speaks to that game just being functionally messed up in some way. It can't just be that it's a bad story. That tells me that the gameplay is off. The gunplay can't be good. There has to be, functional issues within the story. Like, something has to be dramatically bad. It has to be Kong levels, as Ham pointed out earlier, for it to be that without it being game breaking.
Kong.
Yeah, it's poor Kong. He looked upset too from the screenshots I saw, but Yeah, like that speaks to the game being functionally broken when it's at that level,
exactly,
or steps away from it at least. So I think that's just an unfair score to give the game. But 4 out of 10 just doesn't add up to me. And I do understand like the want for these publications and app sites or whatever to get this news hits out there, like, oh, this is what we rated this, and then they're going to double back again for the multiplayer and give their score. But I wonder how is it going to work with the whole aggregate for the game, because I feel like you can't just take away the single player and multiplayer. Those have to be combined to give a full breadth of that product. I feel it's like if they just gave Halo's one score like that, and then later the multiplayer this, but they didn't aggregate that score, and it comes out to being looked at lesser than, I would feel a way about that. Like, oh, but they got a 4 out of 10 from IGN. But the multiplayer portion is this. Like, no, I want the full breadth of that score, because I think that game deserves that full thing, because that's what they're offering. It's not like we're playing an RPG or something, and it's like, oh, the RPG section of the story was this. Now the characters, they were rated a 3 or something. Like that's kind of silly to me to give them separate scores that way. But all that said,
as well, keep it consistent. Now you got to do that with everything that does that.
Every AI,
True.
exactly. And let's see if they do that. That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot of games like your Halos and your CODs that
True.
do everything.
That's true.
This is why these games get criticized on a level like no other games, in my opinion, in the industry.
That's a good point.
The fan base is really tough on those games.
Well, Halo fans are probably amongst the toughest in any media, and honestly.
Yeah.
So I agree with you there.
Yep.
But you're right. If you're going to do that, keep the same energy, as they would say, for everything, right? And these games get the selective treatment, and they possibly take, I think, more unnecessary brunt of negativity because of it too.
Yeah. Next on the next Ghost of Tsushima, I want to see that score for the multiplayer as well.
Yeah. Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
But moving on to the Inworld AI, since that we were kind of touching on that already. Pause. Him. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, because we will be talking about this. Shout out to Kay Asante and Everborn this Saturday, and I have much more to learn and read up on that, and I haven't done a lot of that just yet. But I do want to get you guys' thought on it when it comes to the AI. Now, we had the situation here with, as Tom Warren reports, he says Microsoft is bringing AI characters to Xbox. They're partnering with Inworld AI to create Xbox game development tools for generative AI characters, storylines, and more. And he put the full details there. Now, I say that just to point out that we had Alana Pierce, who did not take kindly to that. And I'm sure some of you guys in the chat, and maybe you guys here on the panel, saw that as well, where she declared that she would actually never buy any game that used Inworld. As she put it, she says, just to read it, she says, imagine announcing this in a year where the games industry has laid off 6,000 plus in people. Sheesh, that is a lot of people. I will never play any game that Inworld has any part in making. Now, that was her declarative statement. She got 26,000.3 K likes for that. Ton of reposts. So I know somebody is going at her, and quotes from 183 quotes. So I'm sure somebody is chewing her out. Pause for this right here. Shout out to her. I like Alana. I do.
Yeah.
I think her heart is in the right place. And I'll just say this before I kind of.
For sure.
Yeah, I think her heart is in the right place, right? But I also think that she, much like others, kind of sees
a little too hasty.
Yeah, a little too hasty. Exactly. You see the whole headline of AI.
The only person I've seen say that. Some people that I really respect are like, oh, this AI stuff. And I'm like, you're already playing them. I don't know if you know this, but you're already doing it.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for like 10 plus years.
Exactly.
But, okay. It's because of the whole writers thing. It's because of like, it's more in your face now. It's more like voice actors, writers, the possibility of people getting laid off, which I put out a tweet saying I do believe people will get laid off. But I'm also an advocate of AI big time. I use it every single week, multiple times a week, and almost every facet that these guys are using it in the industry. So For me, I'm a technology guy, so I love to see it. And there's also the other side of it. Maybe it can create new jobs. There's also the side that a lot of these things need input from actual people to work in the first place. For now,
that's a fair point. And I do want to shout out C Money. What's up, brother? Shout out to him. He says, and Kay says, bro, AI is already in use. It's just going to get better. And you're right, Kay.
Exactly.
And Kay says those in glass houses shouldn't be standing on that square. and that's the part I kind of laughed at, because, and I say this because, again, I think her heart is in the right place, but I don't think
she play Starfield?
She doesn't know the full breadth of it, because Sony does it too.
What?
Yeah, not even just that, but Sony does it. Like, Sony's using it.
They just bought a company.
They did. What was it? iSize, right? What was it? iSize?
Remember. Yeah,
iSize. iSize does it too. You're right.
Everyone's kind of like holding up the mirror, going, "Alana, like you might take a little peeky poo."
They have a whole AI subsidiary that is developing stuff like this for the PlayStation. Like, that's why I say people kind of see this and like, the right thing to say is that I stand on the side of people. Like, I get it, but I want our AI overlords to take over America. No, I'm joking. But like,
that's how it starts, Umbra.
This is where it starts. Come on in, Skynet rather. But yeah, like, my thing is that I think that the quick knee-jerk reaction is to say, I stand on the side of people, and I get that. I'm sure, and you're right, Rhetri. I'm sure some people possibly will become redundant.
Yeah. I mean, right? I said the same thing.
Yeah, I can see that.
The same thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But it's like any other industry, and when technology moves forward, people lose jobs and new ones are created. It's gonna happen. Like, so I think, I don't know who said this earlier. Maybe Sentinel or Ham Solo. I don't remember. But the independent developer this is huge for them. Like, if I can tell you right now, and I've dabbled in game development myself, if I'm making a game, I'm all over AI. If I don't have to pay a bunch, if I'm making a game by myself or with like 4 of my friends, I'm going to be all over the voice stuff. I'm going to use it for coding for hours I don't have to do extra coding. Like, this is a tool to be used. I think this is something like, don't be afraid of the future. Don't be afraid of technology. It kind of feels like something I think more people just need to lean into. I mean, look what happened with the AI, with the image creation when Bing went free and everyone started messing with DALL-E 3 and Bing. Every freaking person on Twitter was using it. It was insane.
GPT is, you hear it almost every other day.
Yep. I use it all the time.
Yeah.
It's great tools, man.
It is.
So, don't fight the future, because the truth is, if the unions and everyone fight this, I hate to say it, and I'm a union guy. I've written union contracts. You're gonna lose. You're not gonna win that battle. Yeah. You might win the battle. You are not gonna win the war. You know what I mean? So just
we will be trapped
and try to find ways.
We will be assimilated into the Matrix. You all just get your head shaved off, the hair and all that. Get ready to get plugged in. It's happening, folks. I'm gonna be Neo, so I'll save you at the end of the day.
Okay, you.
I got y'all.
Jeez. I guess you're the star. It's fine.
Everybody's the star of their own story, right? But,
that's right.
but what do you guys takes on this, Ham and Sarge? What you thinking on this?
So yeah, I guess I'll just kind of continue on where I left off.
Yeah.
Earlier, so kind of continuing on where what Rhetri just got done saying. Like, we've seen this through all sorts of different type of industries. Everyone's afraid of the future. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone's afraid of the future, and they have reason to be, because, the way certain businesses like to take advantage of either the customer or the employee or whatever. But I don't feel like a lot of people are really understanding the gravity of the situation right now, where it's just like, we all talk about the old days where games came out fast, and a lot of them. We're super proud of 2023, no doubt.
Yep.
But there were almost like decade stretches of games that were slapping in the early 2000s. So what I'm trying to say is, if we can figure out a way to make things happen quicker, and as long as it's not behind a either ridiculous paywall, something silly that Unity's trying to do, right? If it's not behind these things that make it harder for the business to make their game outside of the skill it takes to know how to do their job, then I think implementing something as complex but very user-friendly like AI is only a plus across the board. And that goes without a shadow of a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here telling you, EA can possibly use this to get their damn shit together with Madden all these dang years. But then let's go all the way down to a developer, like the person that came out with the game Tunic.
Right, exactly.
Let's think about that person, right? You're seeing the way people are using Unreal Engine as indie devs on Twitter. And you're thinking this is AAA, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really not. Yeah. And just giving the person, especially the small business, a way to compete against a big conglomerate is amazing. It's happened before. When Atari was too greedy, what happened? Activision was created.
Yep.
Activision was created off of people being pieces of shit. Let's call it what it is.
Yep. And then became the pieces of shit themselves, by the way, the least the higher ups. So
what are we seeing? What are we literally seeing right now? History repeats itself, folks, just in different ways. We are seeing some of these companies be pieces of shit. And guess what that guy just from Embracer Group just said? I'm out. I'm starting my own company. What did Jerry Hook say? I'm out. I'm creating Jar of Sparks. What? The guy that just left Tango not that long ago. What do you think he's going to do after he can't talk anymore?
Yep. Exactly. Bingo.
Fair point.
Like the industry. The one of the head dudes over. I'm messing up his name right now because I don't remember it off the top of my head. But one of the head dudes that told us how great Forza Horizon 5 is. Guess what he's doing? His own studio, Maverick.
There you go.
So that's what I'm saying. It's literally the direction of the industry and the people, as long as they have the accessibility to create what they want to, and things are made easier for them to be able to take advantage of. This is just obvious. It's obviously great. What happened when Pong was made? 1 million people tried to make their own console of Pong. And then when it dried up, then you started to see the consolidation happen to people that really know how to do it versus people that don't really know what they're doing. It's literally nature.
You know, I love the passion that you bring to these types of topics, Ham, because Ham is so laid back. And I'm sure if any of you guys have talked with Ham, he's like
very passionate about this one. Yeah.
He's like when he's laid back as hell, but when he gets into something he really cares about, when it comes to gaming and stuff like that, Ham, you know, he shines, and I appreciate that about you, brother. I do want to read this before I go to you, Sarge, and get your take on it too. Our good brother Pixel Bit G, who I have to get on the show, by the way. I'm sorry about this because like I keep saying, like, hey, I'll reschedule to get you on, and our schedules, I'll eventually get scatterbrained and invite somebody else and forget that I said I'm going to set him up for it. And I've done that with other guests too, so you're not alone, Pixel. But I'm sorry about being like that. I definitely have to get you on with us sometime soon. He donates a generous $5 super chat. He says Larry in Studio has now found the tools and can now magically fit BG3 into less than 2.5 gigabytes of RAM. Also, for Horizon Forbidden West worlds are built via AI. Good points, brother. So, one of the things I thought, and Kay, I saw that chat too. He's right. Her own company uses AI. What is she?
Of course they do.
That's why I say, like, I think
almost every single game is using a form.
It is. It's just using a form.
You know what it is? Procedural generation is AI.
That's right.
It's just that they do not like the fact it's because it's in your face now. I think, because of the writers and the voice actors. That now people are speaking out. I'm like, where were you? I think
that's what it is. It's like the whole social media thing now, like where everything is blown up so much more now because so many people were talking about it. But it was like, you do know this happened like 10 years, 20 years ago when people were talking about this and you didn't care then, right? So I think it's kind of that. And somebody pointed out to her that she's playing Watchdog Legions, which uses AI script writer Ghostwriter and also uses voice synthesizing. It's like you're championing, you're at least you're demeaning a situation that you also champion with games you play and celebrate. So that's why, and I'm not saying this to dogpile this woman. To shout out to her. I like Alana. Again, I want to reiterate that, but I think I highlight her just because so many people were agreeing and co-signing that because it sounds like the right take. Like, no, I won't stand for this. It sounds like the right take.
Because it's a take of saving jobs.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
So
it sounds like it.
You're an automatic jerk when you go against it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. It's like talking about the MJ model in Spider-Man. I don't like that. Oh, you damn incel.
Yeah.
Oh, you should like why
Umbra, you hating women again.
Exactly. What, you gonna go make love to her? Yeah, incel. Like the right thought is, okay, women empowerment plus, yes, let's go. Like that's what you're supposed to do, right? It's the PC thing to do. But I'm gonna be real with you. I'm sorry how you all might take it. MJ looks a little, strong in the face on this one. But and getting off topic. But Sarge, what's your thoughts, Sarge? What's your thoughts on this as far as the AI situation? And do you think people are making much ado about nothing in this? And what do you see as far as, I'm giving you a lot of thoughts on this, but what do you think also could be the good uses for AI, at least Inworld AI with Microsoft here?
You know what? I think a lot of people aren't thinking about it realistically. Ham Solo hit the nail on the head. How it empowers the smaller developers. I think gaming in 10 years is going to be tons of indie studios able to create AAA games using these tools. And you're going to see big ones like Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Square Enix. A lot of these, they're going to get folded into either Microsoft or Sony because of self-inflicted bullshit. And you're going to see a lot of people flee these studios before they get folded into, Microsoft or Sony. But you're going to have a lot of these developers that are just tired of the bullshit. They're going to go off, start their own studios. It may have 20 people, but because of AI, they can do the work of 200.
But
you're going to see tons of these. And you look at Dan Houser. Dan Houser got ran out of Rockstar Games.
Crazy.
And it's like him and Laszlo Jones and Leslie Benzies, they were the heart and soul of Grand Theft Auto, and they're gone. And I know Dan Houser is doing his own thing now. He has his own studio. Originally, they said, hey, he just wanted to step away. Yeah, bullshit. We know how that goes. So now he's starting his own studio, and you can have 20, 25 people together, and with this AI, they can pump out a AAA that would be on par, if not better, than something from one of these big publishers. That's what they're afraid of. But a lot of the people who work in the industry probably aren't seeing this yet. I mean, they will in like 3 or 4 years when a lot of these games come out and it impresses them. And they're like, wow, this is phenomenal. I can't believe this came from an indie studio thanks to AI. They're going to see it, but they don't see it yet.
Yeah. No, I think that's all good points. And it's like you said, too, it's like the studios could be so much smaller, like a studio size of the people on passion projects. So you look at something like Grounded.
Yeah.
And there's like, 12 developers on that? Something like that? Because at first I think it was like
19 or something.
10 and it grew to like 19 now. Okay. So you can have something like that and you have this in-world AI that will possibly enable them to have what feels like in some ways, double that or triple that as far as developer workspace because of what they can use these tools for. So I agree with you guys there 100%. And I think I understand the thought of people losing their jobs, and none of us want that, No. So for anybody hearing this and being like, I disagree with you, I get why you all feel that way. And it is a positively great thing to want what's best for humankind. But I'm telling you, folks, we need to plug into the matrix and let our overlords. No, I'm joking. But no, seriously, I think, it's no need for us to be necessarily afraid of this right here, because it doesn't have to be a bad thing. And I want to say this and wrap this conversation up, because I don't think it has to necessarily reduce jobs either. That's possibly more than likely the possibility of it, but it could be a way to work together with that in conjunction with it. I think I think it's too early to really say one way or another when it comes to that.
Yeah.
I just feel like this, because I think even any tool you use, it still has to have somebody using that tool, right? And that's the way I look at it. So I think a combination of the AI helping to reduce workload and increasing like what you
crunch,
can do,
right?
And stop and combat crunch. Exactly the same thing people cry about. This is one of those things that help that. So I don't know. It's a tough discussion, I guess, to have, but it's one that needs to be had, and I think in a realistic way, without people rushing to judgment like, you want that, you piece of crap, But I want to move on to our other main topic, and maybe I'll do the game of the year thing last. How about that? Let's talk about Grand Theft Auto 6. It has been 3 generations now since we've had the new Grand Theft Auto, and you all probably saw this on Twitter where people like how I used to look, or how I looked when Grand Theft Auto 5 was released. Now how I look when 6 is out. And Kay, I saw your picture, brother. You looked like a young whippersnapper, no beard or anything. Yeah. I'm like, look at Kay. I'm like, every kiss begins with Kay. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I unfortunately didn't change at all. I look the exact same.
Did you? I had
to the T.
I had hair at that point. I had a lot.
Yeah, me too.
I had braids. I had like hair touching my shoulders. I had a lot of hair at that point.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like I had a lot.
You were like Danny. You were like Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. I had the butters, as we call it. I had the butters, but yeah, man, like it's crazy to know how long ago that was and how big, by the way, an announcement like Grand Theft Auto is to the gaming industry, right? We talk about stuff like Grand Theft Auto and Halo used to be in that same boat of, this is an event. To me, Halo still is that thing. It still is an event to me, but it lost that mass appeal that Grand Theft Auto still has. It's a cultural thing with Grand Theft Auto. Younger people still love Grand Theft Auto, even outside of us. We grew up playing it, but younger people even love that franchise. So I don't have the numbers in front of me because I didn't care to look, but I know it had like millions of people responding to it. So Jason Schreier again put out the news of them releasing a trailer for it within the next month. So thoughts now are that Grand Theft Auto 6 might be shown off at the VGAs, which if it did, that's a major W for our brother Jeff Keighley. And the crazy thing is, though, if they show that there, nothing else is going to matter outside of maybe Hellblade 2 if they show some combat for once at the VGAs. But other than that, it's like that is crazy. That is a crazy announcement to have at your show if he can get that. But either way, we know that it'll be coming with next month. Even per Rockstar, they spoke on it and said that they'll be showing it. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on your excitement for that. And also, what do you expect? What do you want for Grand Theft Auto 6? We know that it's possibly, I think they spoke to it already, being in Vice City, which is like the worst kept secret. And I loved Vice City, by the way. One of my favorite Grand Theft Autos. I think Part 3 and Vice City are my top 2 favorite. Love the music used for it, the 80s music. I love 80s music, so I love that. But going back to Vice City, it looks like you'll be playing, from what we saw with the leaks that the young guy put out, as a girl and a guy, I guess her boyfriend maybe, but we'll have a female protagonist or antagonist, I guess, since they're criminals. And a guy playing us both, and possibly switching as we did with part 5, which I thought they did a really good job with, by the way, in 5. And what's you guys' thoughts as far as Grand Theft Auto 6 go? How excited are you for it, and what do you want from that game?
Let me actually start, just because
I want 105
more
fever.
more like get me out of the way,
Yeah.
because I do not play Grand Theft Auto.
Mm.
Will I play it if it hits Game Pass? Yes. 'Cause
What?
I'm cheap.
So you won't buy? So you won't buy it outright? You won't purchase it?
No, I may end up buying this one.
Okay.
But I can't speak on it. I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a long time, so I don't have really, any preconceived expectations of what it should be. So I will leave that up to you guys who actually played the last one, because I did not.
Okay. Sorry,
Good to get that out the way.
You had to get that out the way. Yeah.
Yep, go ahead. Yeah, that's why I wanted to go first. Let me just pull this Band-Aid off.
Let me
It's not for me.
Let me say this: you all can keep the party going. But what about you, Sarge? Are you excited for it? And what do you want? What do you want from Grand Theft Auto 6?
Oh Jesus! I think out of all the franchises that I've ever played in my life, Grand Theft Auto is my number one, without a doubt.
Mm.
You know what? And to be honest, to put this in perspective, I've actually considered at least a couple times of becoming a GTA only content creator. That's how much I like the franchise.
Wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's big for you.
So, because it's like when I first saw Grand Theft Auto 3, that sold me on a PlayStation 2. I said I have to have it.
Yep.
No questions asked. When I was overseas on deployments in our little MWR tents, I'm playing Grand Theft Auto games, nothing else. So I'm a big time Grand Theft Auto guy. But with that being said, I hate how they have kind of sacrificed the single player portion of the game for GTA Online, which is a cash cow. I think earlier this year they revealed that they made $6 billion off of GTA Online, made like $1.5 billion off of GTA 5.
Yeah.
They also spoke openly about canceling the single player DLC that was planned, with Frank and Lamar navigating a post-apocalyptic Los Santos with zombies and stuff.
What?
They canceled that so they could.
I didn't know that was.
Canceled that. So,
I didn't know. I had no idea they had something like that in the works.
They had it in the works. They canceled it so they could work on GTA Online content, because all those kids with their daddy's credit cards buying jet bikes and all that other stupid shit you see in GTA Online. That's why it got canceled. So I was, GTA Online is kind of like, it's like that. It's you ever seen the movie GoldenEye, where James Bond and Trevelyan were best friends at once, and then they're like bitter enemies?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I feel like I have that relationship with Rockstar Games, because I love their content, but I absolutely hate that they pretty much kicked single player, enjoyers in the nuts, and they said GTA Online is our jam now. Fuck you single player guys. So it pissed me off how much they negated single player, and they said, oh, well, you have single player missions in GTA Online, and I'm like, that's not the same. I don't want to have some little 15-year-old screaming in his mic, flying around on a jet bike, killing everyone with homing missiles. I don't want that shit. I want single player where I'm not in there with anyone else, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know they put a big emphasis on single player for this. I'm sure they'll transition it to GTA Online 2.0 or whatever. I don't care about that side. But the single player, everything they're throwing in it, I am very excited about it. I hope they do not go the more realistic route they did with Red Dead Redemption 2, because I love Red Dead Redemption 1. I still play it multiple times a year. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2 one time from start to finish. After I finished it, I had no desire to go back to it. I did try a couple times, but I fell off within like an hour, and I said I just can't play it, because the decision to go super realistic, I'm just like, that's an immediate turnoff. I enjoy RDR1 so much more.
I do get that thought, and I know some people who didn't care, like Zalker, for instance, hated Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know how anybody could come to that thought process, because I think it's genuinely one of the greatest games ever created. But I do understand the process, or at least the thought process of not liking the more realistic features, like slow moving, going through the drawers to pick up stuff,
Yes.
I get that. I do. But I personally, man, I took that as being fully engrossed into that world, and I loved every minute. It's one of the games of the generation from last gen, no question to me. That with The Witcher 3, top 2 for me. But I do get it and I understand. But I hear you with all that too, and I do get Rockstar. They make crazy money with this franchise. Hell, they're still selling, like, I think they just sold 5 million copies recently, last quarter of Grand Theft Auto 5. So like that game is like Minecraft for them, and not to mention the microtransactions they're making off of it. So what is the shark bug they call it? The shark bucks, whatever they call it, stuff like that.
Shark cards.
Shark cards. Cards. So it's they're making crazy money off of it, and I know they're setting up the process here for this to monetize the same way. I'm sure they got crazy thoughts and process and plans for that, but I get you on that. But Ham, what's your thoughts on this with Grand Theft Auto? Are you excited for it, and what would you want for it?
I already told you, brother. 105 the feed. Bring it back. Bring it back.
Wait a minute. Is that the voice that he used too?
Oh man, I can't. I can't recreate that. It's way cleaner than that. It's so good. But
radio station.
The radio stations, I'd love, like really depends on the time period. I hope they really pay respect to the time period that they go into. But if they do decide to make it like current, I'd like them to respect what they did previously in Vice City. And some of the things that I'd like, if it is in Vice City, is that they kind of pay homage to the old game. You know what would be dope to see? Tommy Vercetti.
Oh, I would love that.
Crazy.
I would love that. I love Tommy Vercetti.
To be invited to his mansion, and then you're seeing the place that you used to shack up.
Man, you remember the whole Scarface angle? Remember that whole Scarface angle they did with it?
Oh yes.
I don't think they're gonna do that though.
His main office was right in the center, just like Scarface.
Yep.
No, because remember how they did CJ in GTA 5? They didn't even give him a name mention. They just talked about Grove Street families,
which was stupid, admittedly.
Yeah.
But I hope maybe they've learned from that. I think they should celebrate those characters, like Clyde, from Part 3.
They were the reason that the franchise got as big as they did. So like, it would be lovely to see them come back. Or here was another like kind of wild thought I was kind of having. What would be kind of cool is, I mean, they spent how long making this game? I wouldn't mind seeing 2 different cities that you have to travel by air to.
That would be dope. I said the same at one point with I think 4 or 5. I said that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I don't care if it is a load screen and then I'm there, or if I literally have to fly over the actual ocean myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't care which one it is, but it'd be super dope to have that opportunity within the game. I'd also like them to expand upon the area that is kind of Florida and maybe make like a bayou of some sort of it as well. You know, them Florida Gators, right? I'd love to see some more Gators in the game. I think that would be extra hot. I do want the story to be much more focused than the last one. I felt like switching between the 3 characters, I ended up just getting a favorite or 2 and then not liking one.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So like I really enjoyed Trevor. I'm trying to remember bro's name.
Trevor, Michael, and Franklin.
Yeah. Franklin was pretty cool, but I thought he was a little too kind of I don't know. He was like a soft version of CJ to me.
I get you. Yeah.
And
it's kind of mundane
Michael,
compared.
Michael was just, excuse my language, but just a complete bitch. Like, That like Michael stunk. Like I thought Michael's character stunk. His whole family stunk.
Oh, his family
all of
sucked.
that.
Thank you.
Like I
Thank
did
you.
not like his piece. His piece of the story was funny,
Yeah.
but that's it. That's all it was. It was actually like if you try to look at it like, oh, I'm gonna be kind of like a like a movie snob kind of person, right? Like I'm looking at it in the Rotten Tomatoes sense. I'm looking at this dude like, man, this guy has no backbone, and like I don't really understand why he's here.
I do get
Like,
that.
Yeah.
I do get that. I think they were kind of contrasting it, right, though, to show how he was this heist, bank robber and jewelry snatcher and all that earlier, and then kind of settled into this family man later.
Yeah, and his wife's cheating on him inside the house, and his kids are terrible. Like it's just like there was like no saving this family. It was like Married with Children times 10.
Love and marriage, love and marriage.
It was awful, but but yeah, I just hope that they kind of hone in more. So if they kind of do the Bonnie and Clyde thing, I could see that working really well, just having two characters instead of a third, because the third one kind of gets trapped up in there sometimes. And sure, you might pick one of the two to like better, but I just feel like that works out a little bit better than having a third one. And it can be a little bit more focused and not feel kind of like vomit all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I'd like to see that like travel thing. I think that would be really cool. And the homage to the Vice City. So like you walk into that initial hotel that you're going to be staying in, and you see old school Vice City with like, the Infernus, and you maybe see Tommy Vercetti in a picture that says like rest his soul if he's not in the game.
Yeah.
Something like that,
Yeah, I love your thoughts on it, man. Well thought out. I saw too, Sarge, he mentioned in the chat, he said they should allow us to be able to fly to Carcer City. Hell yeah, man. Fly to not just Carcer. I would imagine if they allowed us to I know they wouldn't because it's too grand, but imagine if they allowed us to fly to Liberty City as well, like, and do
nice.
some, like that's too crazy, I suppose, too ambitious, but man, would I love something like that. No, I love your thoughts on that. I think you guys have good
If it's
thoughts.
gonna be $100 game, I want to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. For me, I do want to hear a lot of the music. And this is the one thing I'm kind of worried about, because I feel like it's going to just play modern music because it's set in a modern time. But I love the 80s aesthetic of Vice City. I love that I could hear Out of Touch by, Hall & Oates. I love that I could hear, what else? Call Me by Blondie. I love that I could hear, Dance Hall Days. Dance Hall Day Love. Like, I love that I could hear Billie Jean from Michael. I love that I could hear, I don't know, Africa from Toto. You tossed the rains down in Africa. with the Pointer Sisters and all. I love all that, man. Like I loved all of that.
The roller skates and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I guess they could go two ways with that. Like I start with the music because I thought that set the mood. But part 3, I thought the music set the mood for 3. It made me genuinely feel like I was in a version of New York. I know it's Liberty City, but it's New York. Let's be real. But the music in it, even in part 4, I thought really made me feel like I was in that city. And Vice City did a really good job of making you feel like you were set in the 80s and in a version of Miami. So I would love for them maybe to have a 80s throwback station in it, even if they have modern music. Like that's a compromise I think they can do.
Big time. So
that in mind, I would love them to come back to the heist option. I thought part 5 is one of their best, absolute best features was the heist mechanic, to be able to go and steal from these stores and stuff. Now, it was part of the story, so it was implemented in that way, but it still worked really good. I would like them to just make it an activity, if you will, that you can plan out with, the I guess, other player or whatever. Maybe they allow us to do co-op. Speaking of that, I think that would be pretty dope if we could have a co-op player play along with us. It's the same
one thing they've been missing for this whole time.
Mm-hmm. It's the same thing I said. Co-op. It's the same thing I said for Spider-Man 2. I think is a missed opportunity, and maybe they, Insomniac can capitalize on that going forward, is to have co-op. Like that PlayStation doesn't have a lot of co-op stuff. This would have been one of them to really push Spider-Man 2 up to that next level, where I could have seen it hitting that 9.5 and 10 and genuinely deserving that, is if you had a co-op component where you're untethered and the other person get to zip around New York fighting crime while you do your thing fighting crime in a story, and that if they're close they can join you in that mission. Like, stuff like that would really elevate that, and I think Grand Theft Auto would do well to have something like that as well. As far as the visuals and things like that and characters, Part 5 is underrated visually. I think it's actually a really gorgeous game in a lot of ways. So I'm hyped to see what 6 looks like. We saw the early alpha footage, and it looked okay. It didn't really wow us, but that was like super alpha footage. Like, I imagine when we see it, and it possibly only being next gen, possibly, I don't know if it will, we could possibly expect some really good stuff. So I'm looking forward to that as well. The protagonists, from being the lady and her guy, or wherever they are to each other, I wonder who they have voicing them. I just hope that it's kind of like you pointed out, like with Trevor. Trevor, you wanted to play as Trevor because Trevor was wild as hell. Like, you could not forget about him. Very memorable character, did a lot of crazy stuff. So I do hope they kind of give us that, where we have memorable protagonists to play as. So I'm with you on that 100%. And the story, have a solid story. Part 4, I think, has one of the better stories in the whole franchise. Like, Nico and his cousin and all that, like, stuff like that was pretty dope. I think they did a really solid job with that story in Part 4. I still love Vice City more than 4, but there's so many different things that went into that. But I hope stuff like that for that. And yeah, Rhetri, we got to get you to get on Grand Theft Auto, man. So, yeah, I know
I just woke up.
You've been out of the loop. Yeah, we got to get you in on that. Same to Cozy.
I feel like one of 5 people in America that's not into Grand Theft Auto. You know what it is? I just gotta get back into it. Like, I was back in the day. I just haven't played it.
You could do it. Put your back into it. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But so I want to move to our last topic of the day, and I had a little special planned, and I got chat. I need you guys' help for this. So, I hope you guys are still with us. So we're going to end this after this. So we're not going to take all day with this, but we're going to do what I call the 2023 Gambit, Game of the Year Gambit. And for this, I have this made up and a tier maker. Yay. My first time ever using it, actually, this function. So we have, as you can see here, top 6 nominees: likely, least likely, and no chance. So how we're going to do this, chat family, is we 4 are going to list off what we think ultimately is going to be the top 6 nominees, the likely, least likely, and no chance. And we are going to debate it small, quickly, straight to the point. Not going to take long. We're just going to say whether we agree where it should be at, and if we disagree. And if the disagrees overtake the agrees, we'll move it to the spot where where we agree it should be. But you guys will be the tiebreaker. So since there's 4 of us, if it's 2 that says that should be a top 6 nominee and 2 saying it shouldn't, we need you guys to step in and say it should be that or that, right?
Are we going off of what we believe it should be, or what we think will actually happen? Because those are very 2 different answers in my...
What we believe.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not even doing the whole... Because if we go by the consensus, it's Mario. We know the ones that'll be there if we go that way. So we're going to go off what we feel should be there. Because I have one in particular, which I believe might get snubbed, but I still want it to be a nominee.
I got several. Almost every one of mine's probably going to get snubbed. I think everything on my list will get snubbed.
See, and
that's how bad my list is, just out there, I guess.
I have 2 now that I'm looking at it that I know I'm sorry. I take that back. I have 4 that I'm looking at on this list that I think are going to get snubbed at the end of the day. And this year has been really great. I have here, and these are the nominees that we have listed. So I'll name them off and we'll get going. And I actually put, as you can kind of see, I put Baldur's Gate twice right here by mistake. Oops. But don't worry about that. So these are the nominees: Hi-Fi Rush, Hogwarts Legacy, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Dead Space Remake, Dead Island 2, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Super Mario Wonder, Mortal Kombat 1, Sea of Stars, Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen, Diablo 4, Octopath Traveler 2, Street Fighter 6, Metroid Prime Remastered, Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate 3, of course, Starfield, Alan Wake 2, and Spider-Man 2. So we got a few remakes. We got a lot of part sequels, I suppose I should say, in this list here. But this is how we'll do it. And I'll start with Hi-Fi Rush since it's the first on the list. Hi-Fi Rush, gentlemen, and don't worry about being called on. I just want you guys to give your thoughts. Snubbed. So where would you put this? Likely, least likely, no chance.
No chance.
I would say no chance for this year.
It's in my top 6. There's no chance.
No chance.
That's one of mine that I personally want to see. It's in my top 6. There's no chance.
Okay, so that's
gone.
And it's 3 against my 1. I think it'd be least likely, but yeah, okay, there we go.
No, you put in no chance.
No, yeah, I had to put it no chance.
Stop moving it. I see.
I'm like, wait. All right. So we'll move on to Hogwarts Legacy. It did. I loved Hi-Fi Rush. I loved it.
Here's another one.
Hogwarts Legacy. Where do you guys think this will land? Do you think it'll be a nominee? And it should be. I'll just be honest. In my opinion, it should be.
Absolutely should be.
It should be.
And
it's in my top 6.
So
it's one of those I think is gonna get screwed.
I think it will too. And for political PC reasons for that. On top of that. So
least likely,
likely, or top 6.
I kind of feel like maybe least likely too. God, that hurts. All my games are going to be a no chance and least likely. I know they are.
No chance. That's what you got. You know what? I feel this could be likely. That it likely could maybe make it, or likely it could not make it. So,
well, yeah.
Like, I feel like it's in between.
50-50.
I think it's in between these. So.
It's a hard one. It's a huge selling game. It was massive.
It's one that should possibly be nominated, but it's likely that it might not make the cut. That's what I'm feeling. So it's not like it's least likely because it's not. That's what I'm feeling. So what do you guys' thoughts?
Yeah.
So it's 2 so far with likely. What's your thoughts, Sarge and Ham? Likely or what?
Likely.
Likely. Okay, so that's 3-1.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got that there. Next on the list is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. What do you guys think that will land? Ham, what's your thinking on that?
Oh, not a chance.
No chance. Damn.
Wow.
Why no chance?
I thought I was gonna be rough on it.
Why no chance for you, Ham? Why do you feel no chance?
No chance, and I say no chance because
the bugs,
just the way it rolled out, and the way that people, jumped onto that game, and it's crazy because, media picks what they want to, be salty about when it comes to bugs, and completely ignore other games that have a lot of bugs. But I felt like one of the main reasons, Star Wars had that issue was partially kind of they kind of did it to themselves, especially if you want to talk about performance.
Yeah.
They did that with themselves by forcing ray tracing.
Okay.
Like you do that and then tell somebody to have a performance mode. That's just a little bit wild. But on top of that, they had other bugs and stuff like that in the game, and the PC port was awful at launch. So
it was, and I know some people who said they didn't touch Jedi until it's 6th or 7th, or I think it was the 6th patch. Yeah, so yeah, I get it. I'm the type, I'm very lenient when it comes to that, because Spider-Man had bugs too for me, and no pun intended. But I feel like I overlook that if the game is great enough, and for me, Jedi.
Well, we're Bethesda fans, so of course.
Fair point.
Yep.
But like, I love Survivor so damn much, and me and Pete were talking about this, Jedi Knight Peter. We were talking about how the pure joy we got from several moments in this game, and one in particular in that desert region, if you all know what I'm talking about, where I literally was like, woo, like shouting out loud in enjoyment of that section. Like that's how much in the grip it had me. But I do agree, because of the bugs and things like that, it's likely going to get no chance. So you guys in agreement? No chance?
I mean, I was going to say least likely, so I'm good with no chance too. I mean, 3 of you said no chance, so I'm good with it.
Okay. So no chance for both Hi-Fi Rush and Jedi Survivor.
It's going to be really interesting to see these bottom 6, because there's going to be a lot of people that no matter what the bottom 6 are, they're going to say they're pandering to something.
True.
Of course. Oh yeah, dude.
It's going to be interesting. We're going to be fighting. This will set this year and award ceremony will set the stage for the future. That's how big this year in gaming.
Yeah. Next year is not going to look like this, guys. I can promise you that.
No way. It's going to be a tough. This year right here is one of those almost 2007 level years right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So next up on the list is Resident Evil 4 Remake. And I feel kind of a way when it comes to remakes and remasters. Like, I feel like, should those really be in a Game of the Year discussion?
I have one on my list, but that's because I'm biased and I love it.
Yeah.
That ain't the one.
So what do you guys think Resident Evil 4 will land? Least likely, likely, top 6, or no chance?
Least likely.
Top 6.
Least likely.
Wow.
Least likely.
Really?
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
What about you, Sarge? What did you say?
Top 6.
Oh wow, you really loved it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It's perfectly fine. Definitely give it what you feel it should be. Like, I don't want you to worry about the consensus overall. Just your own thoughts. That's where I want us all to be at.
Because it's not like a very minimum level of effort.
On Capcom's part.
Remake. Yeah. I mean, they remade a lot. They redesigned a lot of the levels. Ashley Graham is no longer. She's not a wimp. She actually helps, Leon out whenever he's in some tough spots. So they actually put a lot of effort into it.
Okay. I get your point.
That's why I placed it as high as I did.
I mean, great games are great games, right? It is what it is.
I keep forgetting we're doing this for like our own personal picks. Like, I just know, I just know that one's screwed. So like in my head, I love Resident Evil. So if I'm going off of what I enjoyed, I would put it in likely. I don't think it's top 6, but
okay. So I'm with Ham where I feel it. I'm with Ham. I think it's least.
What do you say?
I think it's the least likely, but
okay.
So we're kind of split. It's me and Ham. I think we win it because we both least likely, and you guys are likely in top 6. So yeah. So Resident Evil 4 is least likely for us overall. And
fair enough.
Shout out to Capcom though. Next.
Oh yeah.
Next is Dead Space, which is also a great remake, by the way.
This I'm gonna eat this one.
Uh-oh.
This is in my top 6.
Okay.
This is. I just gonna have to say, I don't know, whatever. I know this has I know it belongs in no chance. I know it's not going to win, but it's in my top 6. I don't care.
That's fine. That's perfect.
I'm all by myself. I'm going to be all by myself.
I don't care.
On my own island.
Yeah.
I say it's likely.
Oh.
I love this game so much.
All right. So likely in top 6. You guys are split again from that because yours was likely in the other one. And his was top 6. What about you, Ham? Where do you see this the Dead Space?
Man, remake? I feel
like you're gonna give it no chance.
I feel like men on films from Live in Color, where it's just like you
hated it.
Hated it.
Yeah. What? So what do you think?
I'm still going with least likely.
Okay, I agree that it's least likely. Sorry, guys.
I hate you guys.
Yeah,
it's fine. No, look, if I told you my list, you'd be like, every one of these is a loser, except for maybe one that I think you're biased on.
But you know what? What's crazy?
Every one of mine has no chance.
And that's fair though. But the thing is, like, none of these games here are bad. Like, all of these deserve praise.
I agree. I agree.
So I'm not even mad at that.
A bad game on here.
Like, all of these are legit great games. That's the crazy part.
Like, if you want to know what not to pick, just ask me what my choices are and then just vote for the exact opposite thing because my shit is not winning.
So next up is one of the games I loved this year. I had so much fun with this and I still got a few achievements to get through the co-op. Dead Island 2. Where do you guys see this landing? Top 6 likely, least likely, no chance.
No chance. No chance.
Shame.
Not a
Why
chance
are we
in hell.
talking about this right now?
Yeah, I'm surprised you put that one in there, but good for you.
No, but say like this is a
I
great.
didn't play it though.
Yeah.
But I've heard nothing but
is
everyone
a
I know who
great
played this
game.
game loves it.
So
Everybody.
listen. So this is where
Might
I
as well throw Remnant in there.
Damn.
Oh no, the Remnant shade.
No, but listen, I'm telling you, people slept on this game. You talk about RoboCop.
A lot of people
Sarge, you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Dead Island 2 is so damn good. I am not joking when I say this. It is pure enjoyment and fun from beginning to end. I loved this game. And I it's unfortunate. It did well, like it sold okay. I just wish it would have sold even better because the game deserved
just
it.
no mass appeal for it, so
Exactly.
it never stood a chance. But I'm sure it's fantastic.
The Knucks in that game though are my favorite.
Man, I love the Knuckle. I loved everything in that game. I love the Knuckle. I love drop kicking people. I loved slicing them up with a katana and a gore and all that and electrocuting them. Like, man.
It was graphically way prettier than I thought it was going to be.
Same.
Like the trailers did not do that
That's
game
like-
justice. When I saw gameplay, I was like, this looks good.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
I was impressed.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So where we landed? No chance.
No chance. No chance.
Quit playing with me, Umbra.
No chance. Sorry, Dead Island. I tried to fight for you.
Yeah, you tried to give it the old college try.
I
but
tried.
nah,
Okay, so Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Where do we think this will land, guys?
Hated
Top
it. No, I'm just
six,
kidding.
even though
No,
that's
this is
top
I
six.
hate saying top 6. I hate
I
myself.
know, I do too.
Yeah.
I do too.
I hate it.
Top
You know what?
6.
After saying top 6,
I'm not
for Zelda,
doing
I
it. I'm
gotta
not
go wash
doing
my
it. I'm
mouth
not
out.
gonna do it.
You
I'm
don't
gonna
wanna
say
do it?
likely. No, I don't. I don't want to do it.
He said
I want
like
no part of this
Fighting for
crap.
his damn life right now.
I'm not doing it. I'm going likely. I know I'm gonna be a loser.
You know what?
That
We
man's
all
going
know.
hard, Kelly.
We all know where it's really going to be. What about you guys, Sergeant Ham? What do you think this will be?
Oh, it's top 6, easy, and I'm actually behind that statement. Seeing, because I beat Breath of the Wild, and then hopping into Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, this is nice.
Oh yeah,
So, like,
that's
I
right. I
feel-
saw those.
Is
tweets.
it very much? Is it like? Was it a lot like Breath of the Wild? Like
Yeah.
Would you compare? Okay, so it's boring.
Like, let me put it this way for you.
Damn.
Let me put it this way for you.
Shots.
It like Breath of the Wild is to Tears of the Kingdom. That's Miles Morales is to Spider-Man 2, in my opinion. But
Mhm.
but I think Tears of the Kingdom is better. Why? Because the level design is different.
Mm.
It's more
it's
different.
not all
than,
grass.
Then what I'm saying is it's just kind of fun, like doing the traveling and stuff like that in the game.
Okay.
It's pretty dope, jumping off the edge and then kind of skydiving to another island
Yeah.
and stuff like that, and then coming back.
It
and
looks
then
like
going
it.
from
Yeah.
the ground through the ceiling, like
Mhm.
that kind of stuff is really dope. So like I feel like it's a better version of what Miles Morales did to then Spider-Man 2, or if you even
Gotcha.
want to say the original or remaster versus 2. I feel like Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom was better.
I got you. There's an improvement in almost
Okay.
every way, basically.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Except
talking
frame
trash
rate.
about a game I never played, so I played Breath of the Wild. I didn't like it, so I didn't touch this one.
No, that's fair. Hey, it is what it is. And
But,
if
yeah.
you didn't like that, there's possibly you might not like this because they're similar enough
Yeah.
in respects to combat and such. I think.
It's much more creative though, and that's the craziest part about it. Is not only do they have like different moves and stuff like that you can do,
Yeah.
but it gives you a sense of creativity that you could sit around for hours and just do weird stuff that has nothing to do with the story.
Which
And
I
to me,
love.
that's
Yeah.
something that Spider-Man's missing.
Yeah, that's that sandbox can element. That's what Halo has. That's why so many people love Halo like that because it has a sandbox element. So I like that. What about you, Sarge? What do you think? Top 6? Likely, least likely, no chance.
As much as I hate to admit it, it's going to be top 6.
Okay. Listen,
Hey,
I
That would put, for me personally, that
Why
would
y'all
put no
fighting
chance.
so
I
hard?
wouldn't.
See, that's why I had to ask. He's saying he knows it's gonna be. I know it's gonna be in top 6, but I'm saying likely because I don't want it to be in the top 6.
No, that's
we
fine.
know it's gonna be there.
No, that's fine.
Like
we can use both logics for it. Like I feel that you are like,
because I'm so my brain knows what's gonna be up there, and everyone. That's why I'm looking at my list, and everyone's a loser.
No, I hear you.
Pretty much just have to flip it upside down. There you go.
I hear you.
Exactly.
I feel like the old saying is fat meat ain't, like some people think fat meat ain't greasy. I don't think you get to a consensus of 96 for a Zelda and the game is bad. I just don't think that's the case. You might not like it as a person, right? It might not be your cup of tea, but I just don't think the game is bad. I don't think Nintendo puts out bad Zelda games. Not. You know what I mean?
No, I agree. Yeah, there's I don't like Minecraft either, but everyone else in their
fair point.
Same. You know what I'm saying?
For me.
So I respect the work that's put in. It's just not for me.
And then we have another Nintendo game, Super Mario Wonder. Now we've heard nothing but praises for this as well. Top 6.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go likely. I changed my mind. I'm going likely.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might get maybe snubbed.
I actually agree with you.
It looks so good.
I agree with you. I think likely.
So good.
What do you?
I'm gonna go likely.
I agree with you, Rhetri. Top 6. What do you? At least likely. What? So Sarge says top 6. What about you, Ham? You're the tiebreaker for us here. Likely or top 6?
I haven't got to play that game,
neither.
so I haven't got to play that game, so like I feel kind of like a fraud saying it, but I guess
I haven't either. But I've watched enough other people playing it. Yeah. It looks fucking awesome.
But
Same.
I'm so right with you guys on that. Where it's just like, man, I told you earlier, like I like to clear off my plate before I add more to it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's one of the games where I'm just like, I see you over there behind that.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm gonna get to you.
That's probably why I'm getting a Switch too. That game looks so good.
It looks very fun. I've actually played just a bit of it on my PC. I don't want to go into detail. But
right. I forgot I could do that. Thank you. I'm gonna write that down.
That's right.
Do not forget to do that. And ask KS Hunter how to do that. Okay.
That's the same thing I did.
Exactly. I knew who your source was.
Yeah.
K, how do I do this?
That's exactly who I went to. Shout out K. But I'm with likely. The bit I did play gave me a kind of nostalgia rush. Very cutesy kind of game, right? I don't think a lot of Xbox guys would care for it, but just the nostalgia. I did love Mario growing up.
Me too.
So from what I played,
is in my top 5 of all time.
Same. I love 3, Super Mario World, and 64. Like top 3 Mario games of all time for me. But I feel like this is likely just because of the other contenders that will push it out
that's
of
the only reason. That's the only reason I put it.
You know what?
I'm
going to say this, and I know
6.
a lot of people that like Xbox are going to be pissed off. They're probably going to unfollow me.
Uh-oh.
But it's like,
I'm done with you already. Sorry.
Get out. When I look at a Mario game, I know that I'm going to have fun. When I look at something like Gears of War, I know I'm getting a good night's sleep because I'll sleep through all of that.
Oh.
Listen. Hey, so I think actually Sarge might be in good company right now because I think Umbra and me have been really pushing for Coalition to not do Gears and move on to maybe moving. Do something. Do something new. New.
So true. We have. I know a lot of Xbox guys disagree with us too.
You're safe, Sentinel.
Yeah. Okay.
Ham Solo ready to drive to my house.
Ham is pissed.
I'm outside.
So, now we move it to Mortal Kombat 1. What do you guys think this will land? Top 6, likely, least likely?
Either no chance or no chance, probably, or least likely, one of those.
Because it's niche.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fighters automatically, just like Street Fighter, will be in the same category.
I feel like it's no chance. Yeah.
It'll be sitting next to Starfield, no chance.
Oh, hey. Hey. You watch your tongue there. But so, okay, Mortal Kombat 1, I feel is no chance to. I think it's a great game, I'm sure, from what I've seen of it, but I don't think
looks amazing.
I don't think it'll top any of the other ones.
Plus, it's got Omni-Man, yo. Oh my God.
All that.
I want to get it almost just for Omni-Man.
Seeing him do his finisher, the finisher be the one where he push,
yes.
like holds him
Oh my
up while
God,
they go
where he
through the
pushes it through
train.
the train.
Oh man,
Holy
That
shit,
was
yes.
disrespectful.
it was disrespectful.
That was such an Omni-Man thing to do.
It was, and it's
Oh,
straight from the
God.
comics. That's why I loved it, and from the show. But you know what else was cool about it? When you think about it, he not only murdered you as the character when he the people on the train are getting murdered.
All those people.
Yeah.
That's exactly why I said it's an Omni-Man thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
No shit's given.
He's like, think, Mark, think. But what else? So now we have Sea of Stars, and I have played a good amount of Sea of Stars.
Man,
Love this
just
game.
started this one too.
Let me tell you, I played this on a ROG Ally and on
Loves it.
and on my Xbox at home when I got back. Love this game. Sea of Stars is every bit as the hype that they gave it. I think it scored like a 90 something. The game is magnificent. If you all have not tried Sea of Stars, it is an RPG turn based. It is just beautiful.
It's in Game Pass right now.
It is in game. Another Game Pass W, by the way.
Yep.
It's the game that snubbed out Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Oh well. Okay.
Yeah.
Fighting words was
Likely.
fine. No, I don't.
I know.
Actually, you know what?
Hurt?
I'm putting
Doesn't
it in
hurts
least
me
like. It does
too.
hurt. Hurts good. Hurts good though.
Hurts me
I
so
think- I think
good.
least likely.
So
Yeah.
Kay was
No,
about.
it just hurts me. I don't care about CSR. It just hurts.
It just hurts. But Kay was saying it was slanderous. He said the Kate Mortal Kombat should have been in least likely. But we already came to a consensus, Kay. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So Sea of Stars for you guys, where do you think this will land? Likely, top 6, least likely, no chance.
Least
Likely.
likely
I
for
think
me.
it's likely.
For what?
For Sea of Stars.
it's
For Sea of Stars.
No, I'm going likely.
Really? Oh,
I am
good for you
torn.
guys. I love it.
I'm torn because I feel like it should be a likely nominee.
You know it. You know it should be, but this
Come
is
on
not
over,
like
Umbra.
this is. You know, when it comes to
Come
indies, this is
on
not.
over.
It Takes Two. It's not that year.
It's not that year. That's true.
Just saying, it's not that year.
That is
There's
true.
much more room.
This
on
might be
my
a split.
side.
Come to the dark side. We have cookies.
I'll tell you what. I think Sea of Stars is going to win something. It might not win Game of the Year as
Oh,
far
of
as that, but
course.
they'll probably put
Yeah.
it in Indie Game of the Year. I think likely
Yep.
for that, just because it's
Good for you three.
Yeah.
Good for you three. Championing the loser. I love it.
so.
Go ahead, drop it.
Just
drop it.
because of my love for that, I had to drop it off in likely. So Lies of P. Now we've heard a lot of praise of
No
Lies of P.
chance.
No chance, least likely top 6. What do you guys?
I love
think?
that game, by the way.
Love it.
Dude, it's
Where
so
would you
likely,
want to put
so-
it at? Since you loved it, where would you want to put it?
Where my brain's fighting. The brain is fighting what I want. Though.
Yeah.
This is not in my top 6, but
Yeah.
I would like to put it in likely, but there's no chance, dude. There's no chance of this game.
So maybe okay, so no chance or least likely for you where you land for sure.
I'll be nice with it. I'll put it in least likely, but
Okay.
yes.
What are you guys' thoughts? Least likely, no chance, likely, top 6.
Get it out of here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
See?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
I should've
side
stuck
with
my first
Rhetri.
answer.
I'll stick with you, Rhetri. I'll put it in
Oh,
least.
all right, we need a tie. All right,
I'll put it in least. So we need a tiebreaker, chat.
we need a
If
tiebreaker.
least likely or no chance? What do you guys land, chat?
This
It's-
man said, "I'm gonna give it some pity."
I'm gonna give it some pity.
It's not how you
Limping
do it.
along.
because this game deserves some recognition. You know, I feel
Yeah.
like it needs.
It's a
Participation
good
trophy.
game.
Yeah.
Here we come.
Beautiful game too. Gorgeous game.
And you get a medal. And you get a medal.
Everyone gets a trophy. Everyone gets a
Wow.
gold star.
See, so
Yeah,
K
you're
K
right.
K is the tiebreaker. He said least likely. Oh,
All right, that's fine.
okay. See,
That's fine.
AJH said it too. Okay, so least like we got it.
All right, let's
they,
go.
they have a heart. I see.
Yeah, and DMAC too. So there we go. So yeah, least likely. And and
Alright.
Kay said over Cocoon. Yes, Sea of Stars is better than Cocoon.
Yeah,
Kay. It is-
I Cocoon's good, but it ain't. It's not like Limbo. It's not like Sea of Stars. I think
Exactly.
it's good, but it's not great.
exactly. It's good, not great. Sea of Stars is legitimately
Yep.
great. Like I'm dead serious when I say that. Next up is Lords of the Fallen. My brother Jedi Knight Peter is playing this currently. And
Oh, he loves that
He
game. That one's
loves it.
screwed.
No chance.
No chance for that one. No chance. And this is a game I very much look forward to
Yeah.
big time. So Peter's kind of getting me to possibly get it. He's been talking a big game on that one, but yeah, there's no chance in hell.
I agree with you.
You know what? No chance of getting crowded. Y'all gonna have to move Dead Island 2 up one of the tiers because No chance.
I kinda-
crowded.
Yeah.
No, we got space. We got space though.
Yeah. We got.
Yeah, we got space for it. We can fit it in there. So okay, so no chance. I agree with that. I think we all agree no chance for that. Diablo 4. This is a tough one.
Ah, boy, this is in my top 6 right here,
One of mine as well. I loved it.
and it's gonna get screwed.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna get snubbed. But
No way is this not getting snubbed.
yeah, unfortunately, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I think the new season
Yeah, me too.
is getting a ton of praise. I got to get back into it, get my character to level 100. Man, I'm torn on this because I really did enjoy it.
This one's
Yeah.
like grade because I love it.
What do you guys land? Top 6, likely,
land.
least likely,
I
least
land right
feel-
on the
yeah.
thickness that is Lilith, and I say absolutely.
thickness.
Toss that sucker in the top 6. Let's go.
So what is
All the way the first time.
we got top 6 one. So what else we got? Who else we got? Who else want to go with him? We gotta be like Jerry Maguire. Who else is coming with me?
Here's the thing. I want to,
Yeah.
but I don't like
do it.
losing.
You can
either.
do it.
Let's just do it.
You
Just
can do
drink
it.
the Kool-Aid.
It's up to you.
Ah, God.
Tastes good.
Well, you know what? I got to put something up there, and none of mine are making this list. So, yeah, no, screw it. I'm going top 6. Go for it.
Top 6. That's 2 for top 6. Now,
Yeah.
where do you land, Sarge?
It's not my top 6, but I'll put it up there.
No, don't put what you want. Put it where you want. Don't
No.
fall to the peer pressure.
No.
I'm not I've never been a
Mono,
Diablo
brother.
guy. You know, I know a lot of people enjoyed it and you know had fun with it. But you know what? I guess the big complaint that I heard from a lot of people is that it's very grindy.
It is.
Oh, it is. Big time.
I would say likely. That
Big
knocks
time.
it out of the top 6, so it has to be likely for me.
I loved it. I am also of the mind that it's likely.
Pussy.
I say that
That's
because
right. It's not what it do. We all know.
I say that because I
It's
love the game. I did not think it was Game of the Year love that I had for it though. So I'm in likely.
Okay.
That's
All
where
right,
I'm at
we're
with it.
fighting.
So
My game
so
of
we're
the year's fine,
so we're split. So there's top 6 and likely. Chat, we need you guys to step in again. Top 6 or likely for Diablo 4. So we need you guys to respond as quickly as you can, please, chat, our chat family. Likely or top 6? You guys are the tiebreaker here.
I know they're gonna say likely. I know you guys will.
Let's see. I think AJH.
AJH, I think he's
Yeah,
I think
he already
voted for
did.
likely.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So likely for AJH. What else? Anybody else want to step in? Okay, he said likely for sure.
Yeah.
Now, anybody else? That's AJH is the tiebreaker so far. Anybody else want to add in before I put it there? Let's see. 10.
5, 4.
I was being generous.
You're giving 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like some of these people gonna sleep.
Oh, Palpatine said top 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay, K broke.
Ooh,
Okay, K
thanks
said
for-
likely.
Thanks for doing. Okay, so
But-
likely's winning by 1 right now.
Even though he thinks
Can't
there's
see to
no
go
chance.
Red Wolf.
Photo mode. No Red. What's up, Red? By the way. Okay, so I guess the tiebreaker is likely because K broke it
Yeah.
for likely.
Yeah.
Okay,
Go with likely.
so there we go. All right. Now we have, excuse me, Octopath Traveler 2, which is a travesty that it wasn't already on Xbox and on the Game Pass or whatever. But that will be rectified next year when it drops on Xbox. I don't know if it'll be going to Game Pass. It's kind of muddy. But this game I've heard nothing but praise for. I loved the first game where I put in over 250 hours into that game. Loved it. And I know I've heard nothing but praise for part 2. I know my brother Bam, who has been just steamrolling games this year, played through this as well and beat it as well. So hear nothing but praise. I know even Bushido, who I feel reticent to mention, also played this on. He also
don't you talk about my guy.
he also played this on PlayStation and he loved it. Where do you guys think this will land? Likely, least likely, no chance, top 6. Octopath Traveler 2.
Least likely or no chance. It's one or the other. Either no chance or least likely. Probably no chance. It's probably where it belongs.
I think.
Yeah, I'll go with no chance.
I think I'll go with no chance.
No chance.
Yeah, I don't think.
Y'all
chance.
bugging on that one.
Yeah, it's a good game. Great game, I'm sure. It's no way it's going to be passed anywhere past that. Street Fighter 6, another great fighting game. Did really well for Capcom. No chance.
No chance.
No need
It's
to
a
waste.
fighter.
Yeah.
If it's a fighter or racer, just automatically put it in the red.
No need to waste time on it. We already know. Metroid Prime Remaster.
No chance.
No chance. Where we at with that,
No,
guys?
I was just saying. No, because I've been going back and forth with Charlie Hustle, pissing him off. I'm like, with Metroid Prime, I don't care about that shit.
He's here for the salt. That's why I say no chance.
He's salt mining right now. What do you guys think? No chance?
Probably least likely for me, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That
least likely.
no chance section's getting real heavy over there.
It is getting heavy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Least likely then?
Yeah, that's
Least
where I'm
likely.
going.
Okay, I'll go with least likely. Final Fantasy 16, which got a lot of love from a bunch of friends of mine, though I have not gotten it
Is there
yet.
a category below no chance? That's where that goes.
He's like no chance in hell. That's the last one.
There you go.
I said, I need 2 more thumbs.
So I can give you all 4 thumbs down.
Yeah.
So where we at with this? No chance. Final Fantasy 16. Now listen, this was praised. Now,
unlikely on
Yeah.
this
okay, so
I think likely too. I actually was in the likely category.
likely or
one.
least likely?
Don't you mess
Likely.
my words up. I didn't say that. I said.
Oh, you say least likely?
You said
Not
least. Yeah,
Oh,
he's least likely.
he's like, don't
Least
hold
likely.
my hand. I don't want to go with you.
I
It's
don't
not
want
a
to go down
journey.
that route.
All
Red-
right, that's fine.
Red Wolf said, "Where is Mass Effect? Mass Effect didn't release this year."
What?
Red Wolf.
It's coming in 2029.
Right. You have to wait for like what 4 more years, 5 more years, and you get a chance.
Current.
So, Kay says we got 2 representations or representatives rather from Nintendo. You got Tears of the Kingdom and Wonder. They're not getting anything else. It's that's no doubt. I don't think Wonder is going to get top 6 nominee. I think honestly,
I don't think so either.
it'll be likely, but I don't think it'll make it. Personally, but we never know. I think Zelda ultimately will win Game of the Year. I don't want it to because I have a game here that's coming up that I feel should win it, in my opinion. But where are we going to land with this? Yeah, yeah.
Least likely.
Least likely. I agree.
Yeah, I feel safe
I agree
enough.
with
That's
least
fine.
likely.
I'll go with that.
I agree with that. So, and we got how many left? We have 4 left. We have Baldur's Gate 3. The beloved Baldur's Gate 3, which might be duking it out with Tears of the Kingdom. Where do you
Yeah.
guys think this will land?
Top 6.
Top 6, definitely.
Top 6?
I don't know why I'm
overrated.
saying it. Like, I haven't even played it yet, but I'm actually looking forward to this game because it's the type of game I probably would actually like. So
Yeah.
it could be fire. I don't know.
I'm actually of the same mind. I'm looking forward to it. I've heard nothing but praise.
Yeah.
Well, there is one person who did not praise it and said
Someone said it.
and said that they
Who was
hated it, and that was Hargeet.
Yeah. Was it?
Har-
It was Hargeet. I was
Hargeet
gonna say, I
hated
think
it.
was Shawnee.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like,
He's-
hated it.
Hated it. He said it was trash. He did the and also the way you just said that made me think of Jesse Lee Peterson. Beta male. Beta. But so I somebody said, where's Forza? Focus, you know Forza is not gonna be.
Oh, come on now. Yeah.
You know, I should have put it though. To
Right
be
there
fair.
with the fighters.
Let's
I mean,
imagine we
you're-
added it. No
I mean,
chance.
it's-
I'll put it in
yeah,
no
it's-
chance. You know, just to.
He's not wrong to want it there.
That's
but-
fair. To be fair to Focus, you're not wrong for that. I will put it in no chance though for Forza. We already know how they treat racers. It's just not gonna. It won't have a chance, even if we felt it was good. I'm not blown away by Forza, by the way. From what I played, I love Forza Horizon more than Motorsport.
Yeah, me too.
So that's where I'm sorry to say it that way, but now we have Starfield to shout out my boy Funzarelli. Starfield. No chance. What?
Chance.
You
This
know,
one's a tough one.
slanderous. What do you guys land Ham and
Top
Rhetri?
6.
Top 6. That's where I'm at with it.
Yes, sir.
That's where I'm at with
it. I don't even think it gets a nomination.
What?
It-
No, I don't think
listen,
it will.
listen. It's in my top 6. It's my number 1.
No.
But I do.
Yeah.
It's my personal number one.
Okay.
I don't think it even gets the nod.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go with what I think happens, and I'm gonna say no chance. That's why I said my list is full of losers. Like my favorite game is. I don't think it's gonna make an. I don't even think it gets nominated.
Dang.
Which pisses me off.
I have over 13 days of playtime in Starfield, and I still think it's gonna get no chance.
Damn.
Yep. Exactly.
Because if it somehow wins Game of the Year, PlayStation fanboys are gonna riot. They're gonna be, ransacking businesses.
There goes
and burning
Keeley.
cities
Yeah,
down
there
and
goes
shit.
Keeley's.
They're gonna be going crazy.
Ticket sales.
Well, we're talking
next
top
year.
6. We're not talking about winner.
That's right. This is just top 6. They might not win.
Yeah, they would be pissed if it was even top 6.
They might be.
So
I don't
there's
give
no
a
way
damn
it's
what
making
they
the top
think.
6.
Yeah, I don't
saying,
care
I'm
about
just
what their
saying.
feelings are.
Yeah, damn their
Yeah,
feelings.
but
I just don't see it
Still,
getting
no chance.
nominated.
You don't see it even to get nominated?
Nope. Not for game of the year. No, not for game of the year. I think it's.
You
I think it's gonna.
tripping.
I know I'm not.
You know what? I think
bet you
if it got
snubbed.
nominated, Jeff Keighley would
It'll-
pull out a lighter and set that little card on fire and drop it and say, "Don't even worry about that. Moving on." That's.
I
how
think
he would-
Starfield will be nominated for music and for art direction and literally probably nothing else.
Whoa.
Yep.
I think it'll probably win art direction. That's my guess.
So I want to.
That's it.
We have to wrap this up soon because we've gone longer than I
Sure.
wanted. But I don't think there's any chance in the world that this is not nominated as top. So I think it's top 6. However, that's 2 for top 6 and 2 for what? Not a chance.
Yes, anything below not in the top 6 is fine
Okay.
with me. So yeah, I just don't. I think it's
Yeah,
gonna get snubbed
that's
big
fine.
time.
So it's so likely for you then, let's say, and then
that'll work. Yep.
and no chance
Sure.
for
Likely.
you. Now I still think top 6. Ham is with me in top 6. Chat.
Yeah.
Need you guys to step in real quick because we
All
both
right,
we
chat.
all know that it should be top 6. I don't want to
Oh,
sway
we
you
all
to
know-
my
Yeah, I
side.
agree.
I love
We can all
this
be
game.
losers together.
All right. Oops, sorry, I dropped it in there. But where would you guys think, chat? Where do you guys think it'll land? And don't vote from just because of your fan feelings. Just vote from what you think it should be, like based off how it was reception, what it meant to the industry for Xbox, etc. What do you think this is?
AJ,
at?
stop swaying him, Umbra. AJ says likely. Dude, there's another likely dude. Just put in a likely.
No,
Not
hey.
this one.
So listen, so you got likely and you got top 6. I want to make sure you guys understand the options. And Red
They
said
know.
it.
They
Red
know the
said it won't
options.
flat out.
See, they yeah.
You all don't think-
There you
I
go.
think we know. I think
So,
we know where to put this.
You
Umbra.
all in the chat seriously think it won't even make a nomination for Game of the
Yes.
Year?
Yeah.
What has happened to my Xbox brethren that they turn so cynical?
I love. It's my
I know,
number
they ain't got
one,
no
brother.
faith.
Yeah,
These boys
you know,
need
no.
some church.
Wow.
It ain't church.
We have lost Ham.
Yeah.
So
It's all
it
good.
looks like it'll be
You guys make me sick.
yeah.
You guys, I don't want to hear none of y'all telling me y'all holding the line. Y'all released the line.
We lost.
Ripping.
They put it to
I'm a
likely.
truth teller here. I just don't think it's
Damn, I can't believe my eyes here and my ears.
You can't tell me it's a truth when it's an opinion.
all right. Fair
So
enough.
because of this, though, it throws off the imbalance. So we only have 2 left. That means we have to move at
we're-
least 2 more up after this. So next on our list
Yeah.
is Alan Wake 2. Top 6,
Ooh.
likely, least likely,
Top
no
6.
chance.
Top 6.
For me, it's a top 6. I know it's not gonna win, but for me, it's a top 6.
No, it might. It's high quality.
I agree.
Quality.
Quality.
But what do
Got
you?
all the pixels.
Where we at? Top 6, likely, least likely, no chance. Chat, give me your thoughts too. Where we at with this, fellas?
I can already predict Ham is not going to be with us on this one. I already know it. I just feel like whatever I say, I feel like he's gonna say the opposite.
I mean, you guys have made me feel pretty shit.
You all have robbed us. I feel away with the Starfield. When I'm
Fine.
on,
I
do,
know.
yeah,
I knew
feel
that
some
one was.
type
I
of
knew
way.
that was gonna hurt you. Yeah.
you hurt my
So I'm
soul.
going to go full
I know.
IGN now and just start giving bad scores for everything.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
4 out of 10.
Too much forest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Alan Wake, I think it's at a likely to me because
Fair enough.
I almost want to say top 6 but I want to be careful because recency bias can kind of can
pepper your thoughts.
It can be great. It could be damning as well.
True.
That's why I think if Hogwarts came out 2 months ago, this would be in top 6 without a doubt. Because when it came out, I think that's a problem for Hogwarts, personally.
I think that's part of it, but I think the bigger problem is those who pushed against it because of the whole turf.
I don't think that's a factor. I think you sold more because of that.
It definitely did.
Best-selling game, and
it definitely did. However, those behind the scenes that control the vote, I think it mattered to them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. You do, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Like that whole turf argument to use that against her, and then try to use it against the game, bullshit. Like pure bullshit. They even disavowed her as far as they go, but this is her IP. There's nothing they can do about that. And So Alan Wake 2, where we at, fellas? Top 6, likely, least likely, no chance. Where we at? We got to get this one in there.
We got 2 for top 6. I think me and Sentinel are top 6. I don't know where you guys went with it.
I think it'll be top 6. I'll put that in top 6.
What game?
Alan Wake 2.
What time is it?
I would. No, he wanted to put it lower. That's why he said that.
I know he did. I know he did.
He had to get revenge for you guys putting Starfield like that. But and finally,
I don't blame him.
Finally, we have Spider-Man 2. Where do you guys think this will land? Chat, help us out. What do you think Spider-Man 2 will land?
Top 6. Hard to. I'm going with what I think's gonna happen. I can't help it. I'm going top 6.
Having played it through it twice.
Rhetri, I'm ready to throw you out of a window right now.
I know.
I want to. Man.
You know what's funny is I've only played one. All the games that are in top 6. I've only played one of these games.
Yeah.
I've played through Spider-Man 2 twice. I think it'll possibly get the nom. I think it will. So that's 2 top 6. Who else said top 6? Was it you 2, Sarge?
Yeah.
Yep. So that
I'm
so
saying
that's
top 6.
So there we go. That's 3-1. Sorry, him.
Likely.
Why aren't you throwing anyone else out the window? So
likely.
What's up, Inferno? Yeah, I'm with you, Kay. I think it'll be top 6, but it won't win.
You dodged the shit show.
Yeah, I don't think it'll win either.
Yeah, I don't think it'll win, but it definitely, I think, will get the nomination.
It was a great show until we got to Starfield, and then you guys ruined it.
I'm glad I saved this for last because they broke our heart. So now that we have this situation, we still have 2 that
we'll have to do it again.
We got 2 that need to move up. So we have 4 at top 6. 2 have to move up. Chat.
Starfield.
You have all these games here from likely, least likely, no chance. Which 2 do not belong there that you all could say, okay, I'll move that to top 6. It doesn't have to win, just has to be nominated. You have in likely, you have Hogwarts, Super Mario Wonder, Sea of Stars, Diablo 4, Starfield. Hi-Fi Rush should not be in no chance, in my opinion. However, it is. You have options to move any of these up to top 6. We need 2. Chat, name the 2 games that should be moved to top 6. That'll be the end of the show for us. We got to get these 2 in there so we can wrap this up because I got to get going.
Look at these people.
Tell me what it is. Tell me.
Yeah, they don't want King David.
Where's BG3 on this list? Is it still not
BG3 is right here. Right.
Oh, that's weird. Oh, I'm still seeing it. Oh, okay.
I put it twice. It's so good I put it twice by mistake. But
there you go.
So I see Diablo. I see that's 2 for Diablo, 2 for Starfield, 3 for Starfield. And 4 for Starfield. So Starfield is moving up. Justice. Hey, matter of fact, I'm going to put it in the front. Yeah. yeah.
Give me my damn respect.
Yeah. Damn it. Justice. This is how justice works.
I love it. I love it.
Now we need 1 more. I see Diablo has
Birdman.
2. You notice how Kay said it though? It's because Kay knows. He said it should be in the top 6. Capitalized. That means he knows it's not gonna be. Right, Kay?
I'm telling you, there is no way in my world, in my view, that Starfield doesn't get nominated. I promise I don't believe that.
I hope I'm wrong because honestly, it's my favorite game this year. So I hope I take that L all the way home. So we need. I think Hogwarts should be bumped.
We need
up
1 more. So that's you with Hogwarts. I see Palpatine said Hogwarts. Rather. We got Diablo is leading the pack though. So Palpatine, you got to come to a consensus.
I'm surprised about that one.
Which one is it for you?
Octopath Traveler.
Hell no.
I mean, see, so why did we even talk about it today? Why are we even doing this stuff?
I'll say I listed it because they are quality games worth being mentioned as far as that some people would see as a game of the year for them. You know what I mean? That's why I did it. Now, to be fair, there's more games I could have listed, Forza being one that, our brother Focus pointed out. But I think consensus-wise, Octopath is one of those games that people saw that way. So it's Star Wars, which you got no chance, for instance. Dead Island 2, Mortal Kombat 1, Hi-Fi Rush, which should not be a no chance, but it's suffering down in hell. But now we need one more. So I see Diablo being mentioned a lot. Where are we at, chat? Where are we at, panel? Diablo, Hogwarts, Mario Wonder. Where are we at? We need one of these to step up.
Come on, you guys. Bring your
Well, me and
bias
Palpy
out
are going Hogwarts,
Diablo.
right, Palpy? Get that Diablo off there.
Let's see your bias right now, please. Bring up Diablo.
Where you at, chat? Well,
Let it flow.
I see Diablo leading the pack so far. So that's what? 1, 2,
Yeah, I think
3.
That's pretty solid. Yeah.
Why aren't you fighting for Arc 1.5?
Because it's a remake, and I put it the same spot.
I love it.
If Ark was on here, I'd be putting it in the same spot.
That's right, with Dead Space and
Dead
Resident
Space
Evil.
are, because as much as I'm an idiot, I'll go buy it, right? Because it's a remake that's done too early, in my opinion. But hey, I'm not silly enough to think that a redo of a game that doesn't really have much of a story
Yeah.
I agree with you. I agree. And it's one of the same. I think you said it perfectly well. I have nothing else to add to that. I just don't think that would make it any list. I put it in no chance, actually. But so Diablo 4 is leading the pack.
Disrespecting, I said at least like that enough.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put both first party Microsoft titles in the front.
You would. Yeah, that's fine.
So there's our top 6, everybody. You tell me in the chat, what do you guys think on that?
Can you imagine? Oh my god, I hope Starfield wins just to see the fucking internet implode.
You and
just
me both.
To watch the internet lose their damn
man. Can you imagine?
How does an 85 Metacritic win? I can't wait.
Right.
I hope that happens.
Rabble. Listen,
I mean, it's just like a weird reflection because it's just like, well, then what happened with Ghost of Tsushima then?
That Ghost of Tsushima should have won that year. Honest to God, that's what I thought. I argued against that. Going to Last of Us.
Which year?
That was 2020. That lost against part 2 of The Last of Us.
The year the
I
came out.
1000% agree with you. I can't.
Should have gone to Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm sorry.
They robbed them.
Last of Us, little overrated.
I love The Last of Us too, but it wasn't anywhere as good to me as Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was more deserving.
I love that game.
New IP, stellar characters, at least story.
I've never taken so many damn pictures in my life, and that game.
Beautiful game.
Photos and that. Yeah.
Superb combat too. Like it has ways to improve, but it was really well done. It's for a new IP too. That game should have won. Should have won, in my opinion. I think they got the kind of bias vote when it came to The Last of Us to get that. I think personally, but
of course,
yeah, for sure. And I mean, and people got ties to Ellie and Joel. I get it, but but so that's our top 6: Starfield, Diablo 4, Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3. Alan Wake 2, and Spider-Man 2. Not that bad. Not bad. I think
that's a pretty good list, actually.
I think most of these will be there. I don't know how you all keep thinking Starfield won't make a nomination.
It won't.
I am just flabbergasted by this.
You can take my knees for that one, but I'm going to take yours.
You know what? Let's make this bet right. We'll make this bet now.
I'll take it. I'll absolutely take it.
We're making the knee bet, chat. As much as my good brother Everborn is possibly about to lose his kneecaps to K-Asante about Sonic and Mario. Me and Rhetri are going on record right now to make a bet on whose kneecaps get taken. Pause. If Starfield will be nominated or not. I say it will.
Yeah.
He says it won't. And some of you all agree with him, which shocks me.
Dude, I hate to say that. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's my number one. My number one is Starfield, and then for me, this is my because I think that's what's gonna happen. Starfield, Hogwarts, Diablo, Dead Space, Hi-Fi, and Alan Wake. Those are my top 6.
Wow,
those are my absolute top 6, and they're probably all losers. Maybe Alan Wake is my only shot of winning. That's the only shot I think I have in my top 6. Well, I think Starfield's gonna get snubbed because of Xbox tax that we talked about earlier.
Rhetri. It was
real. It's real.
I will be aiming to take his kneecaps, folks. We'll see how it plays out.
I cannot wait.
We'll see. You know, you never know. Maybe he might be right at the end of the day. I doubt it though, but we'll see.
Man.
So
damn.
We had a longer show here, folks. I'm sorry it went a bit over, but I did have a ton of fun with you guys, man. It felt like we were in an Xbox party just talking and shooting the breeze. Honest to God.
Mm-hmm.
You're in Rhetri. I'm just thinking about golf clubs right now.
You know what? That game sucked anyways. The combat was bleh, so mid combat.
So, Chad, I want to thank you guys for being here with us, holding us down, and participating and giving your thoughts and helping us in this judgment for these top 6 and for all the games that great games at least too to add to that have been listed on this list. And again, if you guys have not done so, please hit that like button on the way out. And if you haven't done so, consider subscribing to it, brother, and give us some support. And again, thank you guys too to those who donated. Appreciate that. I know you don't have to do that. Really, I still have to get that situated because I have not collected any of the donations at all yet. Like I still have to take care. Yeah, the Google. I have to take care of that still.
Oh, Google.
Yeah, to get that situated. But I want to thank everybody who has donated up to this point. And also want to give a special shout out to Riskit. I saw him earlier in the chat. Riskit and his wife, they had a newborn girl, little baby girl with the baby blues. And so I want to give a shout out to Riskit and the family and wish them well. Oh, Red Wolf, our brother Red Wolf gave a $2 donation. He said a generous $2 donation. He says he's saying that it won't make the nomination. And I'll take my $2 back when I'm right.
From what Google gives you half of it.
Damn it. I'll give you back $1.25. I think they're going to take 75 cents out of you. So we'll see. We'll see, Red. But the guys, man, thank you guys for being here with me and holding me down. Shout out to my brother Daniel McGee. I know he regrets not being here because Danny holds me down too when it comes to that. He couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately. But man, Rhetri, I want to give you praise online and where people can hear this. Thank you, brother, for stepping in on such late notice like this and doing an exceptional job at it too as co-host. I really appreciate that, brother.
No problem, man.
Yeah.
Anytime you need me.
I appreciate it.
Even no solos angry at me.
Whenever you call.
Much love for y'all.
Much love for you too, brother. So gonna get out of here. I'll start with Sarge for this one since I started with Ham before. Sarge, brother, tell people where they can find you. I have you guys links and such in the description, and I'm going to add to that description of the show tonight, as well as timestamps later on tonight as well. So for those who didn't catch us earlier, it is a longer show. I will break it all down so you can have timestamps to go to where you need to go. Sarge, where can people find you, man, and what will you be up to? And make sure you tell them about your podcast.
Will do. Thank you so much, Umbra, for having me on your podcast. I greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone that enjoys gaming podcasts, we have a podcast this Saturday, 2 p.m. Central. It's the XBN Network podcast. Of course, it's myself, Old Man Gamer. I'm a Ghostbuster Ash. We talk all things gaming, sometimes some wrestling stuff too. So if any of that interests you, you definitely want to check it out. And if you want to find me, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, it's at SSG Sentinel.
Very nice. Yeah, give our brother Sentinel a follow, guys. Consider doing that. You heard his takes on here. He has some good takes outside of the Starfield one.
Right.
And good dude, good brother, a great community member, and I mean that. And thank you guys. Thank you too for bringing me through you guys' show. I had a blast with talking with you guys, and I love how you guys do that trivia thing you did, which I excelled at. By the way, I was really good on that one. I just want to point that out.
Oh yeah.
And not last, but second to last, but not least, Ham, my brother Ham Solo, who is killing the game with all these interviews. He had the inventor of Xbox on his podcast several times now. You had him twice that I can remember, as well as having Jazz and other movers and shakers and being on the Iron Lords. I mean, you're doing big things, brother. I'm very happy for you. Very proud of you doing what you do. Great community member, just a great all around dude. And I'm not saying this to fluff you up. I say this because I believe it. And I hope success for you and all of us here going forward as far as what you're doing and everything like that. Tell the good folks where they can find you and all the podcasts you're doing, because you're doing like 4 or 5 of those joints now, including one that's like every other week with you and K Mega, right?
Yeah. So that's every other week, like on different channels. So like on one week on one channel, another week on like his channel. So we go back and forth. Just that's why it's called the crossover podcast. But
I like it.
But yeah, thank you so much, Umbra, for having me here. Finally, I was able to make it because I didn't have a Behind Them 6 episode literally the exact same time as this show. But yeah, it's been a great time. I've been doing quite a bit of pretty like things I'd consider pretty dope. As of lately, like Umbra said, I had Seamus Blackley just recently on our panel podcast where we just got to talk to him about how he thinks or where he thinks gaming is going compared to where it has been. I just today had an interview with Jez Gordon talking about his history in gaming, what he's kind of looking forward to, what he sees, how he kind of sees Xbox moving and everything like that as a journalist, and how he also got to meet Randall Thor 19 and what actually motivated him to get into gaming in the first place. This upcoming Thursday, I have Paris Lilly coming through.
Nice.
He's gonna be coming through to talk about his history and stuff like that, and we're gonna chat. I'm probably gonna disrespect his Lakers a little bit. It's gonna be great. So
nice.
Yeah,
so
I'm watching that one.
Oh yeah, make sure you guys come through on that one. It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, you can check me out, TSWS Gaming on YouTube. I'm spamming the link in right now. It probably isn't clickable because I'm not a whatever the hell. But if one of you guys that are can highlight that and make it able to be clicked on, that'd be phenomenal. But yeah, you guys can follow me over there. We just recently hit over 1,000 subscribers, and it's because of this dope community. And they, for some reason, like me, I guess. So that's that's nice to know.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you guys enjoyed my takes here, and if you want to get more of those kind of wild, goofy, fun takes and have a good time, come on over to TSWS Gaming. We're there at least 4 times a week.
That's right. And no, I'll be sure, since I didn't add those links to the chat, I will also include later on your you guys links for your podcast later on as well as under your names. As far as I got your Twitter links, but I'll add that too and later on as well as that in the timestamps. But man, thank you, Ham brother, for being here and holding us down, man. Thank you, Sarge. And last but not least, I've already given you praise, but I want to give you more praise, Rhetri, aka Game Pass Daily, which by the way, you got like 2 handles with your names that throw me off on Twitter, because you got your Rhetri one and you got Game Pass Daily.
I don't use the Rhetri one very much. I try to tell people not to use it because I'm not over there very much. I'm pretty much on Game Pass Daily constantly. So that's, if you want to contact me, that's definitely the best place to find me. But yeah, so yeah, you guys can, if you want, can subscribe to Game Pass Daily on YouTube. I'm also Game Pass _Daily on Twitter because someone took my name. And of course, we got the Gamers Council with Web Dave every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this week we got you, Umbra. We got you and Nero. I don't know if anyone knows Nero from Twitter, but I thought he was a good voice in the community, so we reached out to him. And yeah, Nero's a good dude. He plays a lot of games, so I was like, yeah, got to get this guy, talk some games with us. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun chat this weekend. So we'll get spicy. And thank you guys for having me. Umbra was a ton of fun. Sorry for all the Starfield slander. Still my favorite game of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some
just think it's just. I'm not gonna invite Solo on our show for a hot minute.
I don't think he's going to show up. Yeah,
yeah. I'm being. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, no, I'll be there. And just nothing. That's fine. I'll understand.
I'll be there in the spirit. That's what he meant.
Yeah, exactly. So,
no,
yeah,
thank you, brother. Shout out to you.
Time.
It's always a good time when we get together, man. You get on here with us, and it felt like you were our third co-host and such, or at least host every time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Shout out to Danny too.
Yeah. Shout out to Danny.
What's going on with him? I don't know if he's sick or whatever, but
I think it was just a work thing with him. I think he just couldn't make it. Yeah, in time. Cool. So, but I hope it's not anything bad. He might not have shared the details with me, to be fair, but I hope he's all good. But I don't think it's anything bad, because I think he would have alluded to it at least. So
a little something.
Yeah. So I think he's okay. But yeah, guys, again, thank you guys in the chat for being here. We're going to get out of here. You can find me, of course, on Twitter, X Infinite Umbra or Umbra Infinite. You'll find me either way. I will be on the Xbox Infinite podcast tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern with my buddy Risky for the Biscuit, Jedi Knight Peter, and that blue number Holly tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern on Riskit's channel. Also on Saturday, I will be guesting on Kayasanti and Airborne's Gamer Circle podcast. And I have to give Kay more love, and the reason why you all often hear me mentioning Kay is because Kay's podcast was the first I actually started with. Like, I was already in talks with people, but Kay was the first to say, initiative wise, to say, hey, I want to bring you through to come through on the podcast. This was before I even started up with Riskit and started the Xbox Infinite with him and Pete, because we started that together, me, Pete, and Risk. But they had it in motion already. But Kay's was the first I actually appeared on. So much love to Kay. And I'll be there this Saturday, and that is at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock my time. So you guys make sure you come through for that as well. And I'm going to do my best to learn all I can with this AI. He said, stop it. I'm going to do the best I can to learn.
I got a link for you, Umbra.
Yeah, please share it. I know Kay shared one with me too, so I'm going to make sure to really do thorough look through for that, to learn as much as I can, because Kay knows his stuff, and I don't want to be outshined too much, Kay. So I want to make sure I can hang with you, in all due respect, So yeah, you guys come through for that, and of course, like Rhetri pointed out, Sunday I'll be appearing on the podcast with him and Webb Dave as well. So, what time is that for Sunday? I think it's 6 o'clock my time. So 7 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Yep. So 7 o'clock Eastern Sunday to come through for us on the well. I got a busy schedule. As a matter of fact, I just thought about it. PTK Blam invited me for a show Saturday night, so I got a full schedule this week.
I was supposed to be on that one as well, but I had to say no.
Yeah.
I love PTK, dude.
Yeah, nothing but love for PTK. Yeah, really good brother. I'll be there with him, Pong, Soul, Fuzzy, and we'll have a good time. So that's Saturday at 7 o'clock Eastern for PTK's show. So a lot of shows to get through. I know you guys are ready to get off here. Much love to you guys. We're going to get out of here. We will talk with you guys later. Much love, chat.